Alrighty. Hey, hear me? Like, you can't use it on anything, or it's only a problem with the beta? Alright, but does it still work on the regular one? Alright, let's swap it over. We'll swap it over. We'll swap it over. It's alright. It's alright. It's alright. Yeah, it's not working with my controller either. I can't even exit the game. We'll swap over to the regular one. That's alright. That's alright. Oh. Now let me load it up in OBS. Oh, OBS already got it. That's epic. Love it. Love it. Alright, let me see if this will... There we go, now it's working with my controller. Perfect, perfect. Now let me just make the game full screen so it doesn't look like shit. There we go, that's better. What's next? Settings. I don't fucking know. Finish time limit because time limits suck. Hey. Hold on, I have to fix it in OBS. Now I see why it was popping up in the corner. Yeah. Let me see. Okay. There we go. Fix that. We're all set. There we go. We're getting started up pretty quickly here. I'm streaming it just in case half a guy wants to show up. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, is this game known for having good Japanese voices or good English voices? I'll just leave everybody on English for now since I'm new. I only played this for a little bit at a friend's house. Alright, so how do I make a lobby here? How do I do that? Got it. Trying to figure out how to make it private. I figured it out. Alright, let me invite you. I think I have to add you to my friends list on Steam. Let me do that. Wait, what are you talking about? You sent me something? Let me see. Let me see. Alright, I got it. Perfect. We could. We can get him in here. Is he? Then let me call him up on Discord. Let me add him to this. too. Me too. Noble, you hear me? Alright, yeah, you wanna play some, you wanna play some, Skullgirls with us? Yeah, get him in here, because I was actually just now talking to him. I don't know how to talk to both of you without starting a group or whatever. Okay, got it. There we go. There we go. Let me adjust everybody's volume. Hello. Where'd Noble go? Noble. His mic is freaking out on him. Maybe when he loaded the game up, it made his mic stop working. There you are. Oh, okay, cool. Alright, excellent. I've practiced a little before. It's fun. I liked it. That's why I wanted it. I played it at a friend's place. Yeah. Well, hey, I was just getting wrecked at Smash Brothers, so it's alright. Yeah. Oh yeah, I got it. I'm enjoying it. At least I think I'm enjoying it. I don't know. There I am. Alright, cool. It's alright, you guys can go first. I'm figuring something out with my setup here. I like it a lot. My favorite character is the girl with the rapier, the military girl. Yeah.
Something big is about to happen! What? Barging through. Sirocco. Don't struggle, she who mauls. Take two! Let's rock! How do I look? The fix was in!
Alright. You're not ready up, right?
Alright, I'm ready up now. I'm ready to go.
Alright.
Says I'm spectating the next match, it looks like.
Yeah, you have to manually ready up.
That's alright, I'm in. That's alright. I'll live.
Also, do you recognize the skin I picked for Valentine?
I wasn't looking because I was messing with Discord.
Oh. Okay.
I'll see it.
Oh. Yeah, okay, actually, well, yeah, you'll see it when we choose a map.
Oh, hey, Hex Harper's in the chat. Hex Harper's in the chat. Yo.
Nice.
Nice.
Nobody blink!
Welcome, Max.
Let's rock! Get ready! Major surgery!
Ouch.
Take two! Showtime! No place to run.
But, oh.
Alright, Hex, there we go.
Take three! Let's rock!
Enough! I'll patch it right up. Everyone has a weakness.
Player one wins!
Okay, I had to lower the game because I was too quiet. Let's see how it is.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I have to do that too sometimes. I also figured that refreshing Discord fixes it as well.
True.
Yeah, I think we're good.
I think I got this one reference. Oh, fun.
Now all I have to figure out is why I am permanently spectating.
Oh,
Because
because
you're
you're
not
not
ready
ready.
out.
Ready.
There we go.
Encore! Gentlemen and ladies, it's showtime! Lock it! Tight knuckle. This is fun.
Oh, really? I did it? Okay, cool.
Oh.
Figure out hanging
Yeah,
out here with you guys a little while, and then I'm gonna go to the gym.
Yes! Nice!
Take two! Showtime!
X, let me know if I'm too quiet, alright?
You keep watching that.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, I know. It's blocking.
Sure. Not much of a show. Shit.
All right, so you know how to set up ready up now, Yokai?
Press the button. Don't press it.
Yeah, it should see. Do you see the menu in the like left side of the screen?
I think it
Okay, yeah, there you
unreadies
go.
me every time I adjust the volume.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm on the character select screen. I did it. I'm actually on the fucking character select screen. I thought it was just
Okay,
in the...
well, let's do this.
Alright, let's see.
No.
I want to see how good
There
Yokai
she
is at this
is.
game.
Let's see. So this,
Um,
yeah, this is the one.
yeah, I don't know how to...
Oh, that one.
Is there
looks
not a
awesome.
back button? Is there not a back button?
It's F on the on the PC or a keyboard.
What is it on the controller?
F.
Hi.
Oh, it should be the select button.
Select. So the back button then.
I'll just have to do this. Alright, fuck it. I'm
Hey,
going
what?
first.
Hey, I was not.
These fighting games have a bad habit of not giving you enough time to do anything in the character select screen.
Let's do this in one take.
Let's do this in one take. Yeah, tell my computer that. And I don't remember how to do anything. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, X is for specials. Got it. Yep.
Take two. Let's rock. Take three. No. Don't get.
Yeah, I can't remember how to do nothing.
Let's get a round of applause for our contestants.
That's all, folks. So yeah, I had no idea what I needed to do with that button. I just pressed the buttons. No spectating. I don't mind.
Yeah, Yokai. If
Yeah.
you played other fighting games, you might recognize this color scheme that I picked.
Let me check it out. Is it Jill?
I think it's from Dead or Alive. I don't remember which character. That's all I know. It's from Dead or Alive.
I don't recognize her.
Oh. Okay. I figured you would.
Mm-mm. Oh, it's my turn. Okay then.
Yes. Yes. Yes, you are.
Alrighty, let's go. Rooftop assault. Nope. Locked? Okay. It's weird.
After you, Cree.
Here we go.
Everyone good to go? Fight!
Don't even. I won't. Don't get lousy traitor.
Take two! Showtime!
You I was character. Tell me where it hurts.
Never seen that before.
That's my level 3.
Ready for your shots? Major surgery. Lost the will to live.
I think we got it.
And now a
I
word
love-
from our sponsors.
Mine was like, alright, the show is over, man. Hey. Oh wait, hold on. Back. And then this, and then go for... Oh. I want that. Yes, I want that one. Definitely. Well, time to try something out.
What are you trying out?
A new voice actor.
You don't look like you need to be on Medicare.
Everybody,
Oh, yeah.
rock your marks! Let's rock!
You recognize my character's outfit from Cowboy Bebop?
Apple pie, apple pie, apple pie, apple pie, apple pie.
Hey, Valentine.
Their arms.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Second Amendment. Second Amendment.
Elvis?
Oh shit! God damn it!
You fool!
Really? Cancel me out with that.
Isis! Sirocco! Elvis! Elvis!
Free market. Free market.
Don't
Free market. Free.
take two!
I am not good with this, but I love this voice.
Sirocco!
Oh really? Why are you always just interrupting my ulti? That's...
You born Hot in a red! So mummify!
Free market. Their arms. Cross the aisle. Cross it. Rabbit time. Loose. Free market. Let's go.
Take three! Let's rock!
Cool! It worked!
Don't
Cross
stop.
the aisle. Rabbit time. Only 4 minutes. Cross the aisle.
I love that ability. That's such a nasty booby trap,
Yeah,
man.
Hex likes Valentine and Scorch.
You bore me.
Did Hex Harper like to play the game? I didn't know that.
I could go for a dip right about now. So close.
So close, yeah, indeed. I love this game. Free market, apple pie. Oh. Oh. Yeah, there you go. Now I fixed it. Free market, apple pie. Yes. Free market and apple pie. Ah.
Parasol!
Egrets, get ready.
Parasol!
Egrets, get ready.
Parasol!
Egrets, get ready.
Which one was it? Which costume was it that I liked? I'm trying to remember.
Egrets, get ready. Egrets, get ready.
Oh, for Parasol, there's one that looks like Poison Ivy.
Parasol!
Trying to remember which one I used to use. I think it's just default.
Get ready. Egrets, get ready.
Yeah, I think I just used the default.
Egrets, get ready.
That's default.
Egrets, get ready.
I don't really care about the stage.
Egrets, dispatch.
Gentlemen and ladies!
Yeah, I know. All the stages are good.
Cry.
I mean, they're pretty much the same map anyway. It's just a flat, like, floor with background.
We're gonna get you.
Don't get cocky. It's too much.
How do you grab?
X and A.
Light punch and light kick.
So press X and A together if you're on the controller.
Yeah, I see it. I see it.
Where are you using a PlayStation controller or a Xbox?
I'm using a PlayStation controller, so I'm having to translate.
Oh, yeah, that might be the
No
issue.
mercy.
Whenever you use the light punch and light kick,
Oh, for
that's
fuck's sake.
you're gonna put those two buttons simultaneously to do the grab.
Mhm.
Oh, you figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
Don't get cocky.
Because it's always confusing to me because whenever I was playing Call of Duty with my friend, like I was trying to ready up and he's like, press X. I am pressing X. And he's like, no, press A on the Xbox controller. I'm like, oh. Because like I was confused because I was pressing like what would be X on the Xbox controller because it even had the blue X, so I thought, okay, X on the Xbox controller, which I think is like square or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's square.
I'm not super. Yeah.
Oh wait.
Okay,
Oh,
okay. I'm gonna show you a skin that you're definitely gonna recognize.
Okay.
I don't even think I need to tell you what it is. You're gonna like this one.
That is a good stage.
Get hype.
That's Cyborg.
You recognize it?
Showtime!
What?
That's Cyborg on the right there?
No, close. It is the same, it is DC.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
See okay, look at the, symbol on the shirt, kind of.
Uh,
I'll go looking.
Alright, do you give up?
yeah.
Batman.
How the hell is that Batman?
I don't know. I mean,
Well, it has the color scheme of it, the gray skin.
it has the colors. But, I don't know. There's also one that looks like Captain America and Wolverine.
This is fun.
Hey!
No, I almost feel like we're not seeing the same skin.
Alpha.
Okay.
For me, it's Beowulf as. For me, Beowulf is a black guy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I'm not. So
Oh.
I'm not seeing what you're seeing.
That's so weird.
Yeah, for some reason we don't have the same stuff.
Damn it.
Take 3. Fine.
Well, okay.
We're gonna get you.
Oh, nice.
So that's probably why I'm not guessing the characters, because I'm seeing a black guy when you're talking about Batman.
Oh.
Man,
Did you see the Faye Valentine one?
Good.
No, I didn't.
Nothing left to see here.
Oh. Weird.
Mhm.
Okay, well, yeah, no, he had like he had a gray suit with like a yellow belt buckle. So weird that you're not seeing the great colors.
No, I'm seeing a black guy.
I am spectating. I can now watch. Maybe now, if you now pull it off, maybe then you can see it.
Parasol! Egrets, get ready.
What do you see for my character? What do you like?
Do you have like a red dress on?
Oh no, that's not what I have at all.
I am rich.
I have
Well,
a
for
yellow
some
dress.
reason the costumes are different
on
for
the
me.
set.
What color is her skin?
She has blue skin with blonde hair.
That is not what I see.
I see a red dress with with a purple sand. Oh, I see now.
That is so weird that you guys both don't see my character skin.
No, it's different for us.
Yeah, what's the point of having these character skins if... Like,
Well, what
you
is
can't
it, a
even see
DLC
them,
or
like-
something? Or is it a mod or something?
No, it's... I don't know. Actually, it might be DLC. I don't know.
I have the DLC, so I should be able to see what you have. Because I see
The
purple
color,
sand.
you have the color expansion DLC?
I don't know, maybe. Maybe not.
That might be why I have all the DLC for this game, because I love it so much that I bought all the DLC.
For me, you're having purple pink sand with a red dress, so you look like really ISIS. So.
Color
Like
is
I just see a
the-
black guy come up and you're insisting that it's Batman. I was like, I sincerely am not seeing Batman.
I swear, on my screen, it looks like Batman.
No,
Yeah, same
I
here.
had a black guy. I had a black dude
That
come up.
is so
I was like, that is
weird.
not Batman.
That's
Is
not
that
bad.
I will...
No
If
shit.
you want, I will screenshot it and share it to you, showing you it is Batman.
The fix was in.
Yeah, it was a
really?
shirtless black man.
Shirtless.
Yeah, I don't know what you were seeing, but that was not what was on my screen.
No, it was Batman on my screen. So,
Oh, that's
it's
funny.
another game of Noble.
That's funny. Oh god.
Because, yeah.
There we
This
go.
is
I
Captain
screenshot
America.
it.
This is Captain America, if I'm correct.
I can't see it.
Green Lantern. This one. Let's try. Maybe you can see it now. If not, then well, you know. Gotta be
Anyway, I
using the same-
screenshot both it to prove that I'm not lying. That like my skin looks like Faye Valentine and his skin looks like Batman. Yeah.
Batman.
I will send you a screenshot to prove that this is like.
No, I have a black.
Okay.
And ladies, it's
A
showtime!
black dude.
Do you have as my character?
Hmm?
What does my character look like?
It's I think it is Faye Valentine because she has the yellow on with the bluish black hair.
Yeah, it is Faye Valentine. Yeah, and she has like the kind of like red.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, so that one worked. That one worked.
Okay, that's.
But I don't have Batman. For me, Batman's a black dude.
That is so weird. Okay, well, anyway, I don't know why you see that. That's kind of weird.
Barging through. Struggle.
I am not used to these movesets.
One thing I'll never probably be able to do is overcome the YouTube algorithm.
Why so?
Well, because it's like, no matter what I do, it just doesn't come up in search results and nobody shows up.
I love that grab. That's such a cool grab. Holy shit.
At least, whenever I look up Spartan Cast, it seems like there are two other like channels that use the name Spartan Cast. Or
Oh,
something.
wow, really?
How do I look?
Yeah.
Player one wins!
At least, you know, my channel is still the same. It's just the Johan, and then, you know, probably lookable. Look.
Yeah. Anytime I
Yeah.
go on Twitch or YouTube, it's always one guy. I don't know how
Oh.
people. I don't really understand how people. How the numbers just go up for some people and for other people they just don't.
I have no idea. I'm now at 33 subscribers, so. But yeah, I still have the same amount of people watching. So,
I think it just has to do with the content, you know?
yeah. Probably.
I don't
I'm
know.
not good at content. I'm trying to do my very best upon getting the Mothball project done and finished, but
Mhm.
oh,
I think my solution to my problem is that I need to start doing more gameplay stuff. Like I need to start playing mods and weird like wacky stuff, you know?
Well, even when I do something the moment it happens, like the second Sephiroth is relevant, I do it and there's nobody there. The second Cyberpunk is relevant, I do it and there's nobody there. It's like, alright then.
Because it's oversaturated. You have to do something like, you know,
This is fun. Voila.
like I think that's the problem is that it's like you're doing things that are popular, so they're oversaturated.
Maybe.
Like look at Noodle. Like he talked about like a 20-year-old game, but that's how he became popular. You know what I mean? Like he talked about Halo Combat Evolved.
That's true.
hey! I did
He
it.
also did it in a very specific way.
Exactly. You just gotta figure out how you do it in your specific way that makes it good.
Yeah. Like I like to do my drawing, but you know I do it always in one way. So take my time and do my drawing.
One thing I've been wanting to do is play Alien Isolation, but with a mod that makes it so there's more than one alien.
Really? Is there only one alien in the whole thing?
There's only one alien until the very end of the game, and that's a
Wow,
scripted
that
event.
sucks.
No, it's really freaky deaky shit. Like the game would be impossible if there was more than one alien. Because it's like it's like it's really bad. It's really bad dealing with that fucking thing. I'll just say that.
Okay, nothing left to see here.
It's a damn good
I like to
game,
play
too.
I like to play like Temtem or just, you know, these type of games. They're really fun to play, but I mostly focus on my drawing because, you know, I promise people to make it. So I getting paid for it as well, so I'm happy.
Yeah, like whenever I do the Spartan cast, I don't think people are interested in it, you know?
Well, normally it always comes way too late for me.
Okay,
I
tell
think
me
that-
you see this skin.
I hope.
Yokai, what do you see for my
I see
character
Harley
skin?
Quinn.
Yes! Okay, we got it. Work it.
Okay.
Woo!
Parasol!
Egrets, get ready.
You like when I guessed Cyborg, you thought there was something wrong with me when you
Yes,
saw
I
Batman.
did.
I'm like, dude, I'm seeing a black dude.
I know, and now you make me feel like there's something wrong with me. Like, what? No, it's Batman. Like, I swear. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like
Hold on a
I'm
minute. Hold
crazy.
on. Wait. Everybody, stop what you're doing right now. Stop what you're doing. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Behind my character, that looks like
Yes.
Shadman. That looks like
Yeah.
Shadman. And in front of my
Yeah.
character, that's Aaron from Game Grumps.
Yep.
Looks like Aaron. It looks like Aaron. Look at that. Don't punch me in the face. Look at what I'm talking about.
I can't
You see it?
That's the problem. No?
You don't
I see a girl with a knife and a guy with 4 arms.
Wait.
I see a guy with a tongue out.
Wait a second. The characters in the background are different for us too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake! This game is sick. You gotta be
But,
fucking kidding me.
Well, at
I'm,
least
si
I
I'm
can
sitting
see
here
both
talking
of-
about I'm talking about Game Grumps, and you're seeing fucking Hank Hill and Homer Simpson in the background. How the fuck am I supposed to know that? This is so stupid.
But the good news is I can see both skins correctly, so that's good for me.
Yeah, that's good. The skins are working.
Oh man.
Oh my god. I chose this girl because I have a thing. I like secret agents, and I like characters that use rapiers, and this put two together, which I've never seen anyone put them together before, so I got real excited.
She's actually, I used to think she was a secret agent as well, but she's actually a princess.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes
She played the
sense.
campaign. She's kind of like, I mean, she's a little bit of both, honestly, because she's like the commander of her own, like, secret, special task force.
Yeah.
She is a little bit of both, like, a secret agent and, like, a princess, like. But there was this
I
funny
love-
meme on, Steam, it's like, be a good princess like Parasol, because Princess Parasol, like, has her own army and, like, like, commands her troops and stuff like that. Like, it was funny.
I
I'll send
love-
it.
I love the jiggles and the boobs and the panty shots.
I do too.
Oh yeah, that's great.
That's why Valentine is my favorite character, because she's like so sexy because she's not wearing pants. And she has like the biggest boobs in the game.
That'll do it. That'll do
I
it.
know. Not wearing pants and having big boobs.
Here's the thing,
The
back
boob.
to our conversation we were having earlier in terms of overcoming the algorithm. This is what I
Uh-huh.
think. I think that and this is a very low resolution statement, it's not very specific, but I think that what your average user has to do, people like us, where nobody knows about us, I think that what we have to do is you have to figure out the one specific, you have to find your niche that you can like organically do without it taking too much work. Like, okay, here's the thing. I have the type of personality where I have a tendency to become obsessed with things and try to make them perfect. That's not gonna work here because it has to be something that I can naturally do. Otherwise, it'll take too long, and the rest of your life will fall apart. You can't do it. So you have to find something that you can upload in video format that is something you are naturally able to do. And
Like
it has,
drawing?
well, it has to be something that it would be best for you if it's something that you're doing that's unique to you. Like if you draw in a way that other people don't. Like if there's something specific that you do, like for example, for drawing, I think a good example of that is Meat Canyon. His niche is taking old children's cartoons and making them fucked up. Nobody else really does that the way he does it on YouTube. So that's why he sparked up after a couple of years. If you
So
go to
if I
his
just
channel,
continue-
if you go to Meat Canyon's channel, you can look at old stuff. He has stuff from years ago that nobody looked at. So he didn't just show up. It took him years. So the thing is, what you gotta do is you just have to organically do stuff. Like, okay, like how we're streaming right now, that's something I don't normally do. And I think it's good that I'm doing it now because it takes minimal effort. So I can take care of my other responsibilities and then just click a button and I'm streaming. So it's better than doing nothing. So over time, I'm thinking that my identity in terms of how I craft videos, I'm just using myself as an example. I imagine it would be best if over time I slowly introduce new aspects to my streaming and content production methods until I have a very clear identity where it's you can see that there's a formula to what I'm doing, and then after a couple of years of that, it'll most likely be noticed by at least a couple hundred people, because that's just the way the platform works. But you can't just
Yes!
working really hard
Ah!
doesn't hard work alone doesn't guarantee success in this kind of platform. You have to have it's more like persistency. Consistency. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Consistency and persistence. Where you have a very clear identity. Where it's like you're always doing the same thing, but in a way that's different. So, Zero Lenny, what does he do? He makes Dark Souls videos, where he'll throw in the SpongeBob music, and he has the computer voice, and it's all really silly. But he does it for every Dark Souls game. So it's like, okay, I want to watch him do it to Dark Souls 1. Now I want to watch him do it to Dark Souls 2. Now I want to watch him do it to Dark Souls 3. And then he did it with all the Soulsborne games. And he established such a clear identity doing that now he does that same thing, but with games that aren't Soulsborne. So, you see, you want to make it so you're doing the same thing all the time, but with different mediums. Like, we're gamers and stuff, so it's like, okay, something that you do with one game, you learn how to do it with other games, and that's how you... Like, it's not like you're playing the same game forever. It's that you're doing the same thing with different games forever. That's how you come up with a formula. I know that's very low resolution and it's not very specific because it depends on who you are.
Or like that one guy who did you know, the cursed Halo and like, you know, who did the Halo mods.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about. The guy that did the giant
Inferno
warthog.
Plus.
The giant warthog mod,
Yeah.
that guy? Yeah, I know who you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Inferno Plus.
Is that... I see Ada Wong in the background. That's pretty cool. I don't know if it actually is supposed to be, though. You can never really tell. But anyway, yeah.
No, that's the thing. The character, like the background characters on this map are always the same, so...
Okay. Do you see Ada Wong back there by the streetlight?
Which
That's
one?
what she looks like to me, the one smoking.
Oh,
You see what I mean?
I just thought she was a generic background character.
Yeah, I think she's just a generic, like, noir girl. I don't think it's supposed to be. I like the Stingray with his hand in his pockets. It's kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
You see, the guy on the right looks like Father Gascon in the alley there. The guy's sleeping.
Oh, yeah.
Father Gascon with a Wario nose. One thing that I am fairly happy about is that I was able to regain access to an old channel. YouTube wasn't able to help me do it. I had to do it myself. I was able to get the system to let me back in, even though it thought that I was a stranger. I had to have my nothing. It was a pain in the ass, I'll say that. It was a pain in the ass, but I did it, so I have my old subscribers back, so right now I have 409 subscribers. But my more recent subscribers, which there are 44 of them on my other channel, I have to communicate to them that I've migrated. Which I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. I think they'll just naturally figure it out, though. Because people that consistently like go on Morning Nonsense, for example, they're gonna figure it out, you know.
Yeah, that's true.
And people that don't consistently go on, it's like, well, they probably wouldn't be viewing the content anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
So is the old channel the one with the most subscribers?
Jenny boy, how you doing? Dr. Crow's here. Dr. Crow. Ooh, we got 3 people now.
Oh,
We got 3
Dr.
people.
Crow, that was a great stream yesterday. I had a blast.
Same. Same.
Everybody in the chat, let me know if you're having a hard time hearing us or hearing the game or anything at all, so I can improve it.
But let's go back to that. Let's go back to the consistency for the YouTube algorithm. All right.
Yeah.
So if you just do the same thing all over again, but you know, with your own damn charms, would that not eventually turn up to be, you know, in the algorithm itself?
Well, I think it'll show up in the algorithm as people consistently view your content. One thing that I've heard is that one thing that's actually more important than having a high view count is having people that watch the whole video. So the longer the person stays, the more likely a user who watches similar videos will have your video recommended to them. But if a million people all watch it for 2 seconds, it'll actually be less likely to show up in the algorithm.
So if I just, you know, continue what I do with the projects, then I would be eventually getting more subscribers.
Unless you're suffering from a very specific issue, you're most likely going to be noticed within the next 2 years. If you don't see your viewership consistently going up, then there's something wrong with your method. If you do see it consistently going up, even if it's just a little bit, then you don't need to change your method. Because there can sometimes be something really specific that's fucking you over. You can be doing everything right, but one very specific thing is fucking you over. Like, there's like very strange things. Like, for example, if you make your YouTube titles in all capitals, your video is less likely to show up in search results.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, obviously people that are really popular can do it, but that's because the algorithm isn't really their enemy anymore. The algorithm is their friend. It doesn't matter. They can, like people like Akira the Dawn that make those Jordan Peterson remixes, he can use font, like he can use like stylized font where you don't even type the name of the video, but his video is still going to show up because his channel is popular. So once your channel becomes popular, you can do whatever you want and people will see it. But before it's popular, you have to do very specific things to become that way. So you don't get to just do what you want at the beginning, you have to figure it out. I'm just doing whatever I want right now. Like, my channel's all over the place. I'm making videos about fucking Waluigi, I'm making videos about Yu-Gi-Oh!, Ed Netty, like there's anything on my channel because I have no identity yet. And I'm mainly, my number one goal is to just familiarize myself with the platform so that it isn't, so that I don't start overthinking. I can just click the button and there we go, you know? Like, the fact that I'm doing this stream right now is very unlike me. I'm trying to change. It's taken me a couple years to get this equipment that I'm using right now. I'd say it's taken me at least 2 years.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still need to get a new CPU because the other one is 10 years old, and you know it is a little bit on the low end.
They'll never follow you once they've seen me.
Got it.
Lost the will to live. I love when she does that with a big smirk on her face.
You coming on the after Christmas
know.
stream? I didn't know there was an after Christmas stream, but I do now.
Oh, there is
so,
gonna be an after Christmas stream on Crows.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
I'll try to
I
be
might
there.
pop in. I don't think I'm gonna be there the whole time,
I'll try
especially
to be
if I have work.
there. It's special. It's special. We need to be special. But yeah, I really like how the moth project is going now, and I'm very happy how far I already got with it. And the more I work on the projects, the better I get at drawing myself on the tablet, because you know that's a new thing I did. Beforehand, I only did it on, you know, pencil. So
Yeah.
yeah.
The thing with me is that it's a good distraction. Having like making content is a good distraction because I'm having a hard time finding a job, which is mostly my fault. It's mostly my fault. But I'm improving at it. So there's that. I'm also the thing with me is that I'm still in college, and I seem to have this
Try to keep it cute.
for whatever reason. I'm taking care of college, but all the other factors of my life appear to be falling apart right now, which is so I'm a little emotionally dysregulated.
Yeah.
But
the problem is with this whole new, you know, problem in the air that's Corona. I have not been.
yeah, but I was fucked up before Corona. I was fucked up before Corona. That's the thing. It's not Corona. It's me.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know, it's funny because I have the opposite problem. Like, right now I have a job, but like, I don't know. I was not doing well in college, so I actually like just dropped out after the semester. I was like, you know what, fuck it, I can't do this. Like, so basically, you know what I mean? But like, because I have like knowledge and stuff in like video editing, I don't have a college degree. And that's like, people don't care if you have skills. They just care if you do school. You know what I mean? And
They
that's
don't. They don't. Okay, here's the thing. Places that want to give you an opportunity for your career, they don't look for whether your degree coincides with the topic of choice. They see the degree, and that's it. Because they know that you can commit yourself to something over a long-term period of time. That's what they're
That's
looking
the thing.
for.
I like.
And in a way, having a YouTube channel is very similar to going to school in that you have to commit yourself to something for a long-term period of time. And I know that's an oversimplification. I just think it's useful right now. But
So you're saying so?
the thing is, it's very hard.
YouTube rather.
Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do at all. I'm just making comparisons. But here's the thing. It's very hard for me to focus on two things at once. Very difficult. No, seriously, it's very difficult for me. Like having... I think it's more difficult for me than your average person, though. Which is something I need to overcome. In terms of ability to take care of two aspects of your life at once. For me, right now in this moment, my college degree is all I have going for me. Which is great, don't get me wrong, in the long term. But in the short term, it's like, I'm fucked up. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fucked up. So I have to figure it out. And the thing is, it's actually because of COVID that I can start finding myself right now, because all my classes are online. No lectures or anything. It's just do the work and that's it. That's all there is to it. So I could just do that, and the rest of my classes are very easy. So, like, I just picked the easiest classes I could find because I'm just done, you know. But
That's the thing. So I got put into web design for some reason, and I'm like, I can't do this. I don't know anything about web design. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, this is a really hard class, especially during the coronavirus. Like, if this was like a video editing stuff, if this had anything to do with something I already know about a little bit, I could at least, you know, pretend to, like, do well.
I also have very specific demons I gotta overcome, more specific ones rather than general ones. Like, the more specific ones would be something like this. So I had to get all the equipment. Right now I think everything I need. Like, every little thing I think I have. But I have to figure certain things out. Like, I need to be able to record Blu-ray discs because I want to be able to edit footage of stuff that I'm talking about, or if I want to have a customized intro from something. Because some of the stuff I want, like for my intro and outro, is from an anime movie that's not very well known. So there aren't very many YouTube clips of it, especially the specific stuff that I want. So I have to figure out, and I have a Blu-ray player on my laptop now and everything, it's all installed, but I have to get Blu-rays to play on VLC Media Player so I can bypass the the copyright protection. That way I can get the little scenes and put them. I mean, because, you know, they do that, like, when I try to play it with the recording software on, like when I'm trying to record it with OBS Studio, it makes it just not show up. And because, you know, they think I'm trying to stream the movie or something, which I'm not. But they don't know that. So, you know, little specific things like that, I think it'll make a lot easier once I get past that little rite of passage there. One good thing is that having to do all this stuff has made me really familiar with certain software, like Audacity. I'm very good with Audacity. I'm very good with Sony Vegas Pro. I'm very good with GIMP, which is basically Photoshop, but for poor people.
I have the Adobe Creative Cloud.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
It's basically where you get Photoshop, After Effects, Premiere Pro.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Illustrator. Yeah, all in one package.
I'm still working on getting the software for my 3D sculpting for 3D sculpting software.
We have four people. We have 4 people. I think that's a new record. I feel like I'm gonna shit right now, dude.
Congratulations! Woo! You did it!
I'm gonna piss and shit myself.
Honestly, my most successful episode of the Spartan Cast was the one that I hated like the most.
Well, because it's not about what you did in that individual video. It's about your consistency and little factors like how many people just happen to see it. You know?
Yes, because somebody said something stupid in the comments, and my guest like turned it into a funny joke that I didn't even like. I didn't even think it was funny. I was like, no, please stop. Like, you know what I mean?
So you had the audience kind of collectively bouncing off you.
No, they were bouncing off of me. They were bouncing off my guests. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you mentioned
that. I didn't
that.
like the kind of thing that they were making, and I was like, no, can we just like, you know what I mean? Because it was like really weird.
But yeah, like my problems with my place is like, yeah, I'm unable to get a job forever. That's how I'm now doing. So
I haven't had a job in over a year, and I wasn't able to get unemployment either.
4 years already, and I'm still getting paid because, you know, I'm 100% disabled. That's fun.
Yeah, like it's funny because I feel like the prerequisite to get unemployment is just not be me.
Yeah.
Because I swear.
The whole unemployment shit is bullshit anyway. Because like,
Well,
I don't know. Like,
Tell me where it hurts.
like I don't know. If you either have like a full-on like socialist like thing, or you have it like to where. Like, and then that's you have it where it's either unsustainable, or you have it where you just give it out sparingly. Neither of which is ideal.
Well, what they've been doing is they keep on denying people that genuinely are qualified for it, and they keep giving it to people that are fooling them. Like there are people with trucks of false reports driving away with thousands and thousands of dollars, but then there's people on the street that can't get it.
yeah. It's like I wanna solicitate for a job, and everybody says like when I need to say that I am disabled every single time, and I need to say what I have, and once they say no that I have it, they are instantly like, yeah, we're not gonna be talking to you later. Yeah. So it's instantly like, I don't want to deal with this shit. Goodbye.
Yeah.
So I have no way to say to them, I can do this, okay? I cannot give them the reason why they should, you know, hire. I can give them the reason, but they will be too scared to hire me for it. This is why I started the YouTube, because I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna make my own portfolio on it, and I'm gonna be just doing what I need to do, and that's making projects.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the projects already has been successful, so I'm happy. It's now in the captain's launch at its dinner table. Looks really cool. That's
You said for making a YouTube channel, like, making, like doing it something that you're good at. Something that you don't spend too much time on.
I'm not particularly good at
anything.
anything.
Writing a script.
Hold on, what was your question?
I was gonna say, well, I was just saying, like, I struggle writing a script for things, so I like have a hard time. Like, I want to make a scripted video, so I'm not saying complete nonsense. But like, I have a hard time writing the script. Period. I feel like, you know what I mean?
Okay, here's what I would say you should do. Here's my honest advice. Here's my honest advice. Because I'm a lot better at helping other people than I am at helping myself. So you should listen to me. So, I think that you should pick someone that already is successful to try and model your stuff off of and figure out what makes your stuff different from them. Because you can't do, you know, it's more important to build consistency than it is to be unique. If you want to be successful, consistency is more important than being unique. At least in this particular field. And when you want to make videos and you want people to see them.
So if
consistency is more important than being unique.
So what I need to do is just once I finish with this project, I'm gonna need to do a second project after that. All right, cool.
You just gotta keep it moving. You gotta keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
Like with me, I don't have any identity yet. So I'm just, anytime I think of something, like, oh, there's a sandwich, I'm gonna upload a picture of a sandwich. There we go. I did it. I did something. Because I just got nothing. I don't have any particular focus right now. And when I try to focus on something, I become obsessed and I don't finish it because I'm trying to make it perfect. And I just can't afford to do that anymore. So I'm just like, forget it. Just
writing a script is because I try to make it good. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There was something that one person said that I found really useful, even though I don't really listen to it. I think maybe I'm trying to. He said instead of trying to make an A video, try to make 10 B videos. And you will be more successful. He said, I know it's difficult to control your emotions because you get emotionally attached to your work, but if you want to be successful, you can't afford to do that. Like, imagine if writers did that. Like, let's actually think about that. Like, someone writing who has to meet a deadline. A lot of these authors, like in Pulp Fiction in the 1960s, they would pre-create methods to write Pulp Fiction stories, and they would just keep writing different stories that followed that layout. If they were trying to write the perfect new story every time, then they wouldn't have been able to eat. I know that it sucks to look at it this way, but in a way it doesn't, because it can take a lot of burden off your shoulders when you're trying to make something. You have to overcome the weakness of wanting to be perfect.
This is fun.
Right now, my way of doing that is just uploading any stupid thing that comes to mind. I have older videos that I feel like are unfinished business, and I have newer videos where it's like any stupid thing as long as I get it out there. Like, I am all over the place. I'm uploading a Tucker Carlson Tonight episode. I'm uploading a Waluigi video. It's like stuff that has nothing to... There's no... they're not related at all. But at least I'm doing it, you know? At least I'm getting stuff out.
It's funny that I actually saw my own videos in the suggestion list, so I think I'm doing fine. That much. Oh!
Yeah, you should be alright.
Oh, whoa! No, I died!
Let's rock!
Like, don't get me wrong, what I'm doing isn't what you should do. There's no success in what I'm doing, but I'm getting the behavior, I'm familiarizing myself with the behavior of uploading something all the time.
So you're getting used to what you actually need to do to be successful.
Yeah, I'm trying to condition myself to be more comfortable with being on the streams and with producing content, even if it's stupid content. Now, as I get used to that, then I can incorporate making something that's harder to make.
I'm thinking that I'm gonna making my own. After this project, I'm gonna be trying to get my own outlay. How do you say that one? The thing that you have in front of your so an intro, an outro, and you know, all that stuff. I think I'm gonna be trying to do that to make it my own. So I'm gonna be trying to get that on OBS and then, you know, put that inside of the stream so that I have an intro and an outro.
Alex
when
Halo,
I start the live.
Alex Halo, welcome.
Welcome.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Okay, that's what I'm gonna be trying to focus on. So the next project I'm gonna be working on is gonna making my own
Gentlemen and ladies,
overlay. There you go. So that, you know, in the stream you can see the overlay happening. By the way, did you notice this one? This one is actually Kill Bill. Did you notice?
I don't
That's
think
cool.
so.
That's cool.
I don't think it looks like Kill Bill. 'Cause Kill
One
Bill
thing-
was
one
where
thing that
the lady
people,
in the film was blonde.
I like the shark talking, that's funny. He looks like he's
Oh,
talking
yeah.
to Dr. Venture. But anyway, here's the thing. So, one thing people recommend, a lot of I've written some paper. I mean, not written. I've read some papers. People wrote like articles about how useful it could be to purchase ad space for your YouTube channel, which I'd like to do eventually, but I don't have content to advertise yet.
is this fun?
That's something you do later on when you're ready to start working on the metagame.
We're gonna get you. Is this fun? I guess we won. That's all, folks.
I guess we won. Of course. I love that guy. I love Sammons. Oh, how you call that guy? I don't know.
Samson?
Yeah, Samson. He's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm trying to get, you know, once this project is done, I will definitely do a new project because, you know, I can still do it.
Yeah.
But yeah. Drawing, but I cannot draw like more than 1 hour a day because otherwise I will get overexhausted because I'm really, really not good with stress handling. And over exhaustion is really bad for me. Especially for a creative mind of mine. I don't know how it is with you guys, but normally my work is like 1 hour or 4 hours and then I'm already exhausted for the day. Like, ugh.
Yeah, I'll have times where I just won't move for like 2 days trying to make something. And I can't afford to be that way anymore. I just can't do it. So, I want to try to just keep myself using it. Because I use my YouTube channel as a tool for private reasons as well. Like, I'll use it to listen to my music. I'll use it to download Jordan Peterson videos. All kinds of stuff. So,
Well, I have a private playlist where I can just listen to
Yeah.
my music I want to.
and
I
I'm
make
linking everything together too. I gotta link it to my Twitch. Right now my Twitch is linked to my old YouTube, so I gotta change that. You know, little things like that that are slowly being weeded out as I use it. And then once all those things are weeded out, by that point I'll probably be prepared to make something a little bit larger. And then once I get in the habit of making those slightly larger projects, I can keep pumping them out. You guys still there?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I know.
I'm
still
just
there.
looking for some stuff. But yeah, that's
And
actually
Johan
quite
was
nice.
so frozen, I thought his webcam froze.
Well, you know, I'm just a little bit like thinking like, holy shit, okay, that, yeah,
It can be
it
very,
really-
very, very overwhelming.
yeah. indeed.
Very overwhelming.
It's like I'm used to, you know, if I want, well, if I wanted to do a
Decide who's bestie.
mind your punch.
That's why for me it's more about me than it is about the channel right now. It's like, okay, I'm just using the channel as a tool to throw. It's just all the stuff I like, just throwing it in there. Just sharing it. I got some of you know, Literature Legion coming in and subscribing so that I can talk to them whenever I want. One thing I want to do is play Among Us. I'm really excited to play Among Us. I want to play it with the proximity chat mod. But you see, it's less about making a successful channel and more about just getting myself in the habit of doing things that are good for me when I have free time, which is very useful right now. But and I guess sometimes I forget that. But I have to remember, that's not my goal yet. It will be my goal. I want to make a fairly successful channel. That will be my goal, but that's not my goal yet. I'm not ready to chase that. I have to fix myself up a little bit first. I'm a little too messed up right now.
Oh god damn it, no. Yeah, my goal is actually to use YouTube as a profile, as a profile picture for my own work to solidate. And in the meantime, I just wanted to show people how I do my drawing and how I do my own process, so that I also know how to do it myself, because I can then just watch it back. It's really helpful.
Yeah.
I still hate it how the world thinks like, oh, if you just dedicate time to stuff, then that's worthy of being like, you know, that's worthy of giving you a job rather than your actual like talent. Because I feel like that's how a lot of these like Hollywood hack writers get in. It's not like because they are actually good at what they do. It's because they just spend enough time fucking around doing something, and then
Plus they have
it
connections.
pisses me off.
It's just really annoying that such thing can happen.
Well, you know, don't get pissed off. Just focus on you. You know.
It's you. It's YouTube. It's you. They're talking about.
Not in my country.
Not in my
Men
country.
and ladies, it's showtime.
Free market.
I'm gonna turn my webcam off a minute and relax.
Ouch.
I'm feeling a little uptight right now.
Did that start right?
Free market. Privatize. Control this. Get armed. Control this. Loose reds. Rock with. Loose day, big old.
Wait, I can transform into a.
Free market.
What? Okay then.
Loose red state.
Oh,
Market. My constituents.
Take two.
Privatize. 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 Left wing. Get armed. Free market. Get armed.
and you're really good at countering that move.
Free market.
Yeah, I have no idea what I'm pressing, by the way, some of the times. I'm trying to be, you know, better at, you know, remembering the God, yeah.
Did I do okay, Vitaly?
Oh man.
It's in the can.
So close.
See, so there is a level of gratification in this right here because it's taken me a couple of years to get this set up, so I'm feeling pretty good about it.
You know what makes me kind of happy to see that that a lot of people that are regularly joining my stream are just people that, you know, I know already, but back in the days I didn't know these people, and I'm very happy that I got so far already, and I'm really happy that every single time I see a new subscriber, I'm getting I'm getting like, yes, I'm doing a great job here. And I
Yeah.
just need to do the thing that I always do. And then,
Exactly.
you know, eventually things will go better.
Just do what you do.
And do it with love and happiness.
I think Noble Commando kind of knows what he wants to do. He's just a little insecure about it. Whereas with me, I don't know what I want.
I think that's actually kind of true. I feel like, like, you know what I
should've
mean?
seen-
Like, I have an idea of what I want to look like or what I want to be, but
Look
like, I feel like, especially in this like clown world that we live in, I feel like that like people aren't going to be, you know, like aren't gonna help me do it. I have to figure out how to do it by myself, and I don't know if I'm capable of doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing.
Well,
One thing that Literature Devil told me that was a useful piece of information is if your goal is to build your audience, you should be uploading videos. If your goal is to hang out with a pre-existing audience, you do streams. Because the only people that are going to be notified of your streams, I gather, are people that are already in your audience. It's unlikely you're going to get new people unless you're popular. So he recommended spending like a good year making content, and if you stream, it's just to kind of have a good time.
Yeah, but if you use the stream to make content every single day, I'm doing every single day. I work on my Mothra project, except on Sunday and Saturday, and then I will do just the gaming content.
Well, I would
Which I
recommend
like.
what I think you should do is, and this is probably what Literature Devil would tell you to do, because he does it. Upload your streams. Download your streams and then re-upload them as videos. That way they'll show up in search results.
Let's rock!
Really?
Well, yeah, because pre-recorded like streams don't really show up in search results.
No,
I
they don't.
actually had a similar idea. Like, I was thinking I would stream, like, funny memes. Like, you know, like, stream, like, a lot of, like, the stupid, like, mods for, like, Doom and Half-Life. You know, like, Crack Life and Moon Man and stuff like that. And then I would, like, download those videos, edit the funniest parts of those, and then just upload that as a video, you know? So that you're not
Yeah, like
watching,
make
like, the
little
boring
highlights.
parts and you're not saying anything.
Yeah.
Well, what I did,
That
what
way
I
also
did,
people will also watch it all the way through, you know? Like,
This is fun.
like instead of watching a full hour stream all the way through, it's like, okay, just watch this 20-minute video all the way through, you know?
Yeah. They'll be more likely to finish it.
Take 3!
Yeah.
Get ready!
Making the incision.
what I did actually was actually quite smart, because I noticed that, you know, how would I ever let people know that I did a live stream, and how would I ever, you know, keep every video connected to each other? I actually put them into a playlist and put them on public. That way, you know, every live stream I did will be like, you know, will be a follow-up to the other one, so people can actually watch it.
Yeah.
And I already noticed that some of my old, ow. It's hard to talk sometimes.
I think we got it.
So what I noticed was that actually one of my older streams just popped up as a recommendation in the YouTube algorithm, random search. So I'm actually getting really happy that that actually is getting there already. So.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really disappointed that my most viewed video is now, like, not accessible for people because it has a copyright claim, and, like,
Oh,
because
really?
it was yeah, I did a parody, you know those, like, Cruel Angel, those Neon Genesis Evangelion Cruel Angel's Thesis parodies?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I made my own with Halo.
Hmm.
And, like, now it's, like, partially blocked in certain regions because of that copyright claim, because I used the song A Cruel Angel's Thesis.
Hmm.
Wow. Just wow. That's mean. That's just mean.
Yeah, there could be a lot of obstacles that get in the way.
I already noticed that some of my like in December, so that's like the week before this week. So in December already, the 9th of December, I already have like 67 views on, you know, my Morphar project. So I'm already seeing that a lot of the views are, you know, consistent.
Yeah.
But it just takes like a week to get everybody, you know, in the view search. So I'm really happy upon that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just watched my to see what. Yeah, I had that once with playing Turok, Seeds of Evil. I don't know if you guys know that game. So I got copyright struck while playing the game because apparently one of the songs that is played was actually they copyright strike me for it, even though it's their game.
So
the
yeah,
game makes
Yokai, I
right.
want to show you a
That's
thing
just
for
too-
Parasol. I'm
Okay.
sorry I interrupted. That's not cool. Anyway, but yeah, no, there's an alternate voice pack for Parasol. I think it's pretty funny.
Okay.
I'll show it to you.
Well, it might not work for me, remember?
Oh, you're right. Okay.
All of it. Oh, excuse me. I'll eventually have everything. It's alright. I'll see it myself.
Who will be our star tonight? Go!
That girl back there looks like. Oh, never mind. I see it now.
Excuse me.
The way they drew it was weird.
Was that a knife in a gun?
Oh no, not this. Oh,
Oh, really? I am not good with her just yet. I can teleport like that. Alright, that's cool. Ah,
Headshot.
Gonna hate. Booyah. Player 1 wins.
that now some word from outer space. So,
Oh, she was saying different stuff.
yeah.
yeah.
Haters gonna hate. Boo, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's no. That's the I'll show you how to do that sometime.
Alright.
But
yeah, but no, it's pretty funny.
I'm so very happy, you know. All of this, making new people, seeing new people, helping other people. It's one of the things that I really like doing. Giving other people, you know, tips and tricks is also one of the things that I like to do. That's why I also love to, you know, do the dual streams with, you know, Blue and Crow or other people. You know,
Yeah.
doing the drawing streams together. It's like seeing other people doing their own art styles. Oh man, that's a real cool thing because then you can see what other people learned and how they do it and how they make, you know, their artwork. Like I have like a very consistent way of drawing things, but you know, it takes literally like maybe 2 months to make it because
Yeah.
you know I'm that dedicated to it.
Yeah.
And since I'm only doing it like 1 hour a day, it just takes a little bit more time, but you can see better the progress. That's why I'm doing it, because you know I want to show people the progress in it instead of
Yeah.
you know. Oh, all right. I'm a little bit getting exhausted because I also need to learn how to do fighting, and I am also talking. Talking and fighting is not a very good combination. For me, then, at least.
Yeah, see, like, with me, everything is so messed up right now, like all over the place, that it's like, okay, it's not obvious to me what I should do specifically, so let me just make sure I'm doing it. Let me just make sure I'm getting stuff out and not worry too much about it until I start to figure it out more naturally.
Oh man, these colors are horrible. I picked the wrong colors here.
Something big is about to happen! Bye! Major surgery!
Ah, so that's how I do it. Wait, did I did a kick? Yeah, I did. Wow. Okay, so that's...
Ready for your shots? Let's hit the dose.
Ah, okay, so that's how I do it.
That's gonna major surgery. Major surgery.
Oh, really? Heads? Oh man. Ugh.
Too hot to handle.
Player 2 wins!
Oh man, that's already really hard doing a double fight. Okay. I think that's enough for today. For at least for me now a little bit. I need to be a little bit cooling down. Need to grab some drinks and such. Also, I think it's almost dinner time. Yeah, it's almost dinner time. 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's morning for me, so I'm getting ready to hit the gym in a little bit.
You are allowed to use the gym.
Different.
I wish I could. I'm like, even though I'm like a Spartan, I'm like really out of shape.
Wait, you got-
Spartan?
Wait, you guys have a gym?
Yeah.
I don't even have a gym.
Yeah, they
in
just
my
make us
place.
exercise with the masks on, which is annoying, but it is what it is.
Man. I wish
Yeah,
our...
I mean, I
I'll
don't
play-
wear. See, that's the thing. Those little mask policy never actually affected me because I'm always wearing a helmet anyway. Like,
Well, I mean, look at my avatar. I'm wearing a mask anyway. So.
yeah, no, true.
My problem is that actually the whole thing, the whole country is actually now on a full lockdown until January. So nothing, and I mean nothing, is open. Not even, not even the good old-fashioned, how do you say, cafes or anything like that. They're all closed. Ugh. It's not like
Yeah, no, I
it's-
went to so the one time I went to the Netherlands, which was when I was traveling to Tanzania. Like, I went to this one like waffle place, and they have like they have really good desserts in Netherlands.
Oh yes, true, true.
Like, damn, you guys' desserts are delicious. Like, I need to go back and like just eat as much sweets as I possibly can.
Oh man, desserts are good. Stoofpotjes zijn ook heel lekker. When you stove something, so that's mean like you cook them in water. So you put ingredients into one pan, and then you put the meat into it, and then you make the meat so soft as, really soft. So it's like, oh, it's great. Also, look at this, my chamber.
There's a nice little lobby we got going on while we talk.
Yeah, no, it is good.
Like we're
So, yeah.
backstage.
It's like the elevator music, but then better.
It feels like you're
I
backstage.
know the soundtrack of this game is so good.
Hey,
And that's
Yokai,
actually why I thought you would Yokai, I thought you would like this game. It was because of the noir,
Yeah,
art
I do
style
like
and
it.
the
I do
new-
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Yokai, did I ever show you my, drawings? Like the normal ones that I did before?
No, you
Before
haven't.
Okay. Behold. There you go. Now I need to keep it steady.
All right, let me check that out. Check that out. You didn't send it to me.
Yes, I'm holding it up on the webcam.
Oh. I like it.
Thank you. It's one of the older drawings that I did before, you know, I went digital. It's like, this is like 5 years ago or something like that.
It would serve as a
But
nice
yeah.
backdrop or something.
Yeah, true. That's what, this is also connected to the story I'm trying to write, so, yeah.
Yeah, I've had to stop writing for a while.
I needed to write, or learn to write at least.
I should really
Because-
get the what's it called? Like the motion capture stuff that Shiny Effects has.
Yeah.
Motion style.
That way,
You mean the VR tuber? The VTuber?
like so that way I can be like a Spartan. So that way when I have like do the webcam stuff, I can be like, you know, have the Spartan avatar.
It's a good idea, but it might be expensive.
It might be
Yeah.
expensive, unless I do. Like, I heard that you can use the Xbox Kinect as like a cheap motion capture thing.
I have.
So I might just
Can you
buy one of
also
those.
can you also just use a VR headset like the one I have in the back? Because that's
Maybe,
how
I
it is.
don't know.
But yeah, the first thing I'm gonna be doing once the lockdown is gone, I'm gonna get a better CPU. And then, since I have a better CPU, that means that I can finally play video games correctly on the right recommendation, because now it's actually quite wrong, because I have like 4-core GPU, a CPU from 2010, so that's really old already.
Yeah.
And I need to update that because it's getting a little bit slow, this bad boy, but you know, it has the newest graphics card, but because of the slow thing, you know, and I hope that also will improve my quality. So far I can play games like Temtem on streams, like live streams and coloring, so I'm happy on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wish to be a little bit faster. Ugh.
Are you still streaming, Yokai?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're not
I
even
forgot.
playing a game. Well,
I know. We're just like, I imagine watching the stream and you're just like kind of staring at the like the lobby screen.
It's alright.
well, it is just, you know, just good talk, you know. It's about subjects that are important. Like, I have improved my own streaming. My stream, I have finally have a right setup to stream myself. But you know, I just need one more important part in it. But you know, I cannot get it just yet, and that's why I'm waiting. But then I can upload and put things in HD graphics, and I'm very happy that once I achieve that goal, because that's one of my goals. I want to achieve HD streams quality and uploads, because you know, I want to show you guys that I can play this game in the best quality. It just takes a lot of time and effort to get that quality. The
Yeah.
same goes for, you know, if I want to draw, I don't want people to see a blurry drawing. I want to see just crystal clear what I'm doing, because that's what I want to do. But
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still not sure what I want yet, so I'm just using this to throw everything out there. I also
Eventually
make
you will
playlists that I
find
like
it.
to use. I hope so. We'll see.
you know what really helps? You know, having a conversation with yourself. That's
do
what
that
I
too
always
much.
do when I conversations with yourself when you walk and talk.
I do that way too much. I can't.
It always happens like, oh, people are just looking at you like, oh, he's talking to himself, why?
What the hell is wrong with him?
No idea. It helps, it's so
Anyway,
fun.
I don't know if I want to talk. So I wanted to talk about something. I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to talk about it on stream. But here it goes. Do either of you have any good like dating advice in current year?
That is a
Like,
good
current-
question.
A good dating advice. Hmm. This year.
Personally,
Find a.
this is just me. Just focus on doing something that's important to you, and it'll happen. That's it. Like if you're going to work, you meet somebody at work, ask them out, do it.
Just
But-
do it.
But I don't want to ask out my like. I don't want to ask out the people I work with. You know.
Well, the reason
you know
why
me,
is
I don't-
because dating applications are unreliable.
So true. So fucking true. Holy shit.
Because
Already
a
I've
lot of them will be robots, and the ones that aren't robots will be, you know, a lot of the time it's a scam. They're trying to get money from you. Other times, there'll be
It's a catfish.
just people that just have no personality. That too.
Or
But I mean, there are sometimes very pretty women on there, or at least fairly pretty, and I'll be speaking with them, and it's like they're not engaging in the conversation. Like they clearly are not engaged in the conversation. So I just stopped talking to them because it's like, well, they're clearly not engaged in the conversation. That brings me to the conclusion that, okay, you're expecting me to ask you out on a $400 dinner so that we can maybe hook up? No, that's not me. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
wait.
And that's another
you-
thing. Like.
That sounds like, you need to pay $400 to hook up. That sounds like prostitution with extra steps, you know?
Kind of.
Whatever whole-
That's kind of what
yeah.
it is, but it's because, I know I see I'm referring specifically to women that are using the dating application that are clearly not engaged in the conversation.
Oh,
That's
man.
that's what I mean by they. And they're like, not only are they clearly not engaged, but that leads me to the conclusion that it's like, okay, you're not going to really talk to me until I ask you out, but I don't know you. You see, my previous ex, I met her on Bumble, and, we spoke for a couple of weeks, and then I asked her out, and that was how it went. But these girls aren't like that. They don't talk to you and get to know you and then go out with you. They want to go out with you and then maybe hook up with you. They don't actually want to develop a relationship with you.
That's kind of what I like. I kind of don't want to like, spend the time getting like. I want to get to know her while I'm dating her. You know what
Okay.
I mean? When I go on a date, like that's when I want to get to know her. Like I don't want to waste time just being friends. Cause I read in the book once that like if you act in the friend zone, then she'll always think you're she'll just think of you as just a friend. She won't think of you as romantic. But if you try to be romantic, then she'll be interested in you.
Trust me, I did it. I tried this. I tried this once to try to get someone to go out with me, and I just did it straight up. I just went for like, I know you already like now a year. I know how you tick and all that stuff. You know what? Fuck it. I will ask her out, and I did. And the spark went a little bit meh. So
Yeah.
it's still a little bit good, but it's meh.
A lot of the women on these dating apps, they want you to ask them out so they can get a free dinner, and then maybe they'll hook up with you, and that's it.
Free
It's
dinner.
very-
That sounds a little bit selfish.
It's a very shallow dynamic.
Yeah, I know a person who just got scammed by a dating app and just got really fucked over.
You should. So that's the thing. I've gone so low as to try and find women on Discord, which I don't know. I feel like whenever there's like a woman who's like automatically is asking me for money, I automatically don't trust that woman because last time, the first time this ever happened to me, when somebody was like asking me for money, that person turned out to be a dude, and I was like, "Can you show me a picture so I know what you look like?"
Yep.
Hesitantly sent me a picture, like even though they were trying to get me to pay money to see pictures.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Fuck that
Oof.
shit! No, show me a picture so I know what I'm paying for." and I used the Google search method. My Google, like I just searched Google for the image, and I was like, yeah, no, you're not a real person. Like, this is a picture you found online. And yeah, I was pretty pissed off. Like, no, I'm never have any.
Just don't do such a thing. Don't try to get women by buying them. It never works. It's really bad.
Exactly.
The way I mean, I'll still use I'll still use dating apps just to kill time. Like it's like a gotcha game. It's not something I take seriously.
I try to, I know when I see a person and I know that I like them. It's just by, going to their face and just and straight up ask them to go out with me, because it's better to be like, if you don't want to be friend zoned, then just ask the person out. You don't want to be doing the whole drag along thing, because it never works. Regardless.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Like in a book, it's just faster to just be like, hey, you're hot, I want to date, like.
Well, I'm just saying how it went with my previous ex. Like, I made it very clear that I was interested in her, and then we hit it off for a little while, and then I asked her out, and that was how it went.
Yep. Just say that you like them, and then ask them out eventually. Like them, not like
right,
like them like a friend.
In here,
like,
and wants my attention.
Yeah.
Hello, dog.
Hello, dog.
What can I do for you?
What will?
So another question I have is like, I guess, how do you know if like she's like, you know what I mean, like faking it, like you know what I mean?
Faking it. Ooh.
Like faking her personality or faking something about herself. Like,
okay, if your guts say that she's faking it, then listen to your guts, because your guts are one of the most smartest things in the world. If you have this like really odd feeling like something is wrong, then ask her first what's wrong, and if then still the red warning signs are not showing up, then don't then just call it off. If you know that something is going wrong, or something like, hey, she's hiding something here, then ask her what she's hiding. Straight up just ask her. And if she doesn't want to tell you, then you already know where that's going, right? If somebody doesn't want to tell you what's bothering them, then I guess that's not a real good way to start a relationship.
Another thing is like see, this is a little bit of a hard thing to like talk about, because I feel like nobody understands me when I talk about this. Like whenever I talk about like how I talked about how like I know what I want but I'm insecure about it. This is one of those things where I know what I want but I'm insecure about it. Like what I want is to have a girl who's like, the ideal feminine woman. Like I want I guess really a traditional housewife. That's what I want. Like that's what I want to get out of it. But like whenever I like talk about that, like everybody, like especially my parents, are like very against that idea, because they're a little bit more like lean towards like the social justice side.
Oh god. Yeah, continue.
Like my dad, because my dad, like, well, he does like lean like to the like he leans more towards the social justice side on like the racism and like the like sexism and stuff like that. He does not lean left in terms of like economically. Like he's more like of a libertarian when it comes to economics, but is like a leftist when it comes to like social policies and society, you know what I mean, and social issues.
Yeah.
Whereas my mom is like full on like Democrat, like. And my dad also hates Trump, like hates him enough to have voted again. Oh, I should not. I said I shouldn't. I know I shouldn't be talking about this. Okay, but basically the whole like point is like everybody seems to discourage me from having a housewife.
I will tell you this: just treat her like your loved one. That's the most important thing to do. You want to have a housewife, then find somebody who is good in cooking and just who loves to do it for you, but don't force it. That's the thing that I am very against. Like, don't try to force someone to be your housewife.
Yeah, if you have to change the behavior, that ain't it.
Yeah.
I know.
Exactly.
I'm just saying, like, how do I find her is the question. You know what I mean? Where do
I
I
Ask her.
look?
fucking know.
Ask her, like, do you like cooking? Do you like to cook for me if once a day or 2 days a week? If you're happy with it, or do you want to help me out with, yeah, just ask her if she is comfortable with cooking for you once you're at work.
I think
Just
asking cooking for me seems a little bit too obvious. I feel like cooking for other people should be a better way to phrase it.
Why,
You know what I
why
mean?
not just ask them for cooking for yourself? Like, hey, if you want to have a relation with me, I'm just gonna be asking this straight now. Like, I'm having a hard job right now, and I'm not able to get dinner quite fast. So, would you mind cooking for me once I'm back from work, for instance? And you have this this simple conversation. You're not forcing her to do it. You ask her to do it. She can say no, and then you're okay with it.
Noble, I have
But then
a
you
question
know that
for
you-
you.
Yes?
It's unclear to me what exactly your question is here. Is your question, how do you find her, or is your question, is it okay to want her?
I know it's okay to want her, because I know we all agree on that. But my
Yeah.
question is, how do I find her? Because I know you can't force it. Like, because that's what everybody I talk about thinks why it's not okay, is because they think I am forcing this behavior. I'm holding them to at gunpoint with my assault rifle or shotgun or whatever, my
Yeah,
MA5B
my
assault
lord.
rifle. Like, which I'm not. Like, I just want somebody who wants to do that, in a free country where you can do whatever you want. But I don't know where to look.
Yeah, that can be a tough thing. That can be a tough thing, actually. My recommendation would be to meet people through other things that you're doing.
So that's another problem, is the lockdown, because I'm spending
Yeah.
most of my time online.
Yeah.
And where I guess I have two jobs. One is where I work for the UNSC as a Spartan, which, like, interacting with the other Spartan girls, they all want to be Spartans. Like, you're not going to find a housewife in the UNSC. And my other job, I work at a well, I mean, if you're in the United States, you're probably familiar with Cracker Barrel. That's where I work. Anywhere, that's so most of the people who come and I guess most of the people who want to most of the customers, or as we like to call them, guests. Most of the guests are usually older people, usually people who have grandkids, that kind of age, So I'm not gonna you know what I mean. And also if you're an employee asking out this one girl, it seems kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is awkward, yes, but it might be worth it. You can give it a
I
shot.
recommend I recommend reading The Art of the Game by Neil Strauss.
Out of game.
I recommend you read that.
Did you guys know, by the way, that if you, I know that you're all living in the USA, right?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So the good news is that I'm still earning a valuable income. I still have an income, but the bad news is I don't have a job, and I feel so let down that I don't have to work, that I actually want to work, but I almost got a job. All right, I almost had a job, and then this corona just came with a hammer and just slammed it straight into my back. Like, excuse me, you want to have a job? Ah! So yeah, that's really how that happens to me. It was oh shit, no, not this, because I was this close to making a good social system, so social, where I have a group of people that I know, so I can ask around for working for them, and then eventually, everything falls apart because this corona just strikes, and I can no longer visit them because I am pinned to my place because my mother is really vulnerable to the virus, and I don't want her to be hurt. So I needed to stop doing things. Which
Let me ask you. Can I ask you about the art of the game? I need to ask you a question of this, because the book I read is full of bullshit, where it's wasting my time by explaining useless shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does this book waste your time with nonsense, with stories?
I never finished it because I was I just didn't finish it, even though I should. A few chapters in. I was a few chapters in. It immensely helped me with social anxiety, not just with women, but in general. So I would recommend it.
So it doesn't waste your time. It
I mean, it didn't waste my time. I found it very helpful.
I don't know. Another part of the book, the book that I was reading, I never finished it because a lot of it requires me to not be in a lockdown. I'm you know what I mean? It's kind of just what's the fucking point? This guy.
See,
is
the one I was
time.
reading is different. The one that I was reading, it said, by the time you read this, it's possible that certain things will be different, but you make it work. That's the writer's attitude. It isn't oh, you need to be in this particular situation. He's not assuming you're in a specific situation. He's saying, here are certain circumstances I've been in, and this was what I learned from them.
So he is actually giving you guidelines.
He's giving you general guidelines for how to carry yourself. It's not about your situation, it's about you. It's about how you handle your situations.
Nice. I know that I learned how to control my social anxiety for a long, so I learned a lot by positive manipulation. There was a how do you say this? Not a diploma, but a kind of teaching. All right, some guy just that comes regularly to teach you about some stuff. And because I have autism, it's really problematic for my social anxiety to be there. And I learned that I don't understand people that good. Alright, so normally people don't get the hints, or I don't get the hints, and then everything goes to smithereens. And I learned a lot by knowing where to look for and how to look for it, and that helped me a lot to gain more friends, and that helped me in the long term really well.
Yeah.
Knowing when to stop to talk, when to give people breathing room to react. Just having a nice conversation by repeating the words that other people are talking about that are important, that sound important towards them. Because they're talking about Christmas, and somebody's complaining about Christmas, and then, yes, I know Christmas. Tell me about what happened. And then, you get the conversation going. Instead of being did you know that the first president of something straight up nonsense, you don't want to talk about it because you don't know anything about it.
Yeah, I remember when I was, this was back when, how long ago was this? A couple years ago? I was in college, and it was I was at college, and it was really awkward. And I was reading that book, The Art of the Game, because a friend of my dad's gave it to me, that he knew from the casino. And so what I did was, just for practice, I actually took out a little book for my classes that you write in, and I actually was going around the campus just to practice speaking with women, because I would get severe anxiety around women. I find I still do. And so what I did was I pretended that I was fulfilling out like a survey, and I was going around and I was asking very attractive women what they look for in men, and I was pretending it was part of an assignment, but it wasn't. I just made it up just to see if I could do it, just to see if I could carry out the conversation. And it got to the point where they were actually coming on to me. And it was quite clear. It's not like I was just seeing it. It's like, no, it was quite clear. So that was one thing that really helped. I mean, I know it's silly in hindsight, but knowing I was actually able to carry that out. I actually have like a really specific one. There was this one girl that it was so adorable because I sat down, and this was when I was like all made up. I did my hair and everything, you know, I was set, dude. I sat down at this table and I was like, hello, can you, it was like this girl that was a couple years younger than me. Real shy looking like that. I was like, can you, answer me on a brief survey about what you look for in a man? And she was like, okay. Like, she was clearly very nervous. It was adorable. And that wasn't even an exaggeration. Like, she really did say that like that. It was funny, but
Did you know
you'll be surprised what you could do.
Well, I learned how to I learned how to speak to women that I like just by, you know, getting a general conversation going, and that really helps me. Like, just have a general conversation going, like not about the weather, just about something that they're like bothering about or talking about, and then just try to react upon that and looking for answers like what they like by, you know, changing the subject gently, just not abruptly.
Yeah, you're bouncing
No,
off
that's
of what's
funny.
around
You
you.
mentioned like a shy, you mentioned like this girl being shy, like, so I mentioned earlier that I kind of have a girlfriend. She's an online
you brought that
girlfriend. I met her on Discord. She's also really shy, but like, I don't know. So I'm not sure how well it's working out. I feel like because of the time zone difference, because she lives in Australia, I feel like that alone is damaging to the relationship, which it might be. But anyway, so because I have a very small window of opportunity to interact with her. Anyway, so but I guess like one of the things I realized is like having a shy girl is like probably really good, because if she's shy, then she's not gonna want to interact with other people. Like that means she's not gonna sleep with other dudes. Like that means she's not. I know. That means she's not gonna like, you know, want to like, she's like kind of gonna be like more comfortable at home. Probably it's like it's perfect. It's ideal.
So depends on the dynamic. It depends on the personalities that you're dealing with. So for me, it would probably be better if I was with somebody that was outgoing, because I have a tendency to distance myself from people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I have a tendency to disappear for long periods of time, and I'll shut people out. So
I've noticed that.
it is likely that it would be better for me if it was someone who was very extroverted.
So somebody who can drag you along on their, you know, with their friends, or somebody who can, you know, want to take you out, or
no. Somebody that it would have to be someone that was somewhat competent in that they were. It would need to be somebody that had some form of goals of their own. I know Noble Commando and I differ there. We differ there. But this is just for me. It would be someone who's extroverted, someone that has some very specific goals of their own that may or may not be career oriented. But you don't want too much of that, because they tend to be a little bit selfish if they're that way. And it would need to be the type of relationship where they're not dragging me around, but rather where we're both focusing on ourselves. We're both focusing on ourselves, and we're helping each other with our goals. I have a very hard time in social situations where there isn't an objective.
So when you
which is probably part of the reason why I performed so well when I had the fake survey, because there was now an objective. So no, it would most likely it would be someone where there's some form of practicality in our dynamic, some form of long-term practicality.
And what if you would like make it a goal? Like you put a goal in front of you, be like, she's now my girlfriend and I want her to be happy. So I'm gonna make the goal to make sure that she's happy every single day. How do I do that? Blah 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 blah. Like that kind of thing. Like you put the agenda up front. Like you need a goal, so you're gonna make yourself a goal. Even though it maybe looks silly to other people, it's still a good goal because you know you're now motivated.
It would have to be. Here's the thing. I've had that dynamic, but with both of my exes, but neither of them were goal-oriented people in that type of setting. So what happened was we just kind of broke apart over time because it wasn't quite compatible. I was always trying to fix something, and they just wanted to have a good time.
So they did not help you. They didn't try to do the same thing back to help.
It wasn't that. No, it's not that they did. It wasn't lack of reciprocity. It was lack of compatibility, because I was always busy trying to fix something, so that put them off, and they didn't have that constant practicality behind their actions, which put me off. It would have to be someone that A, is objective oriented like me, and B, has goals in that objective oriented mentality that are compatible with mine.
Okay.
And they would need to, I mean, they could even complement one another.
I just want to say one thing. Yoka, I need to have my dinner now. So I'm so sorry to leave like this.
No, you're good.
But yeah, thanks for having me on, and I wish you both a good time.
Yeah, we'll do this again. We'll do it again.
Bye.
You take care.
Yeah, no, I actually still have some other questions. So, you said, I guess like what you're saying though, like, I don't know. I guess the more thing that I have like a fear of is that, like, a woman's gonna stab me in the back. You know what I mean? And it's not gonna put the time and effort into a relationship. Because I've had that happen before, ironically, it's because she, I actually think that you might like her, because she is very goal-oriented. I mean, she blocked me, though, because, well, I kind of rubbed it in her face that I had another girlfriend. Because I was an immature asshole at the time. Like, anyway, so... Yeah, no, but it's because, like, I guess it's because she's more focused on herself and her own personal, like, career ideal. You know what I mean? It's like, I feel like she's not, like, putting the time into the relationship, and as a result, like, I never get to see her. And
you felt like she's thinking,
like,
how can I make the things around me better, and that you're not one of those things.
Yeah.
That's what you gotta watch.
Because I know, ironically, that was like a time where I think, like, where I was like really focused on, like, okay, I have to get this stuff done so I can have more time with her. You know what I mean? Like, I have to get this done. I have to get this done. I felt like I was really focused. I felt like I was really, like, it wasn't until like she wasn't spending time with me anymore to where like I felt like that kind of fell apart, and where I felt like I was like, you know, like, what's the word? You know what I mean? Where I just felt like, you know, I started like kind of like slumping back into my like natural habits of like not giving a fuck about things. Like,
yeah.
You know? Or I'm like, yeah, what's the point? Like, she's not, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think that you need someone that makes you feel rewarded for your hard work.
That's the thing, and I feel like that's why I want a housewife, is because I feel like, you know, like I come home at the end of the day and like you know what I mean, I spend like the entire day doing all this hard work, and then she's there with like a nice like cooked dinner, and then, you know, like after that we might go to the bedroom or something like that. Like, you know what I mean? That's like my ideal day. I work hard.
Yeah.
Like she's there and then she's like at the home.
Yeah, that's
like,
the American
ready.
dream, my friend. That's the American dream right there.
You know what I mean? And I don't even like, it wouldn't have to be a job that I particularly like love. You know what I mean? I could be like just like, you know, I could have the job I have right now, and then it's still like the dynamic would work the same. You know?
Yeah.
I know, but yeah, like I feel like I'm not like getting anything like yeah. But you're right. I think that is what I want. I want a girl who like makes me feel rewarded for my hard work.
Yes, that's what you want.
Yeah.
Whereas with me, it's like, I think it would, for me, it's like, I would need someone that helps me make sense of what exactly I'm working towards. Because a lot of the time I could just lose sight of my goals, and I just start wearing myself out. And then I just stop, and I feel like I have no direction. So that's why I'm saying how right now it's like, well, yeah, I'm still getting my degree. I do have that. That's the one thing that's clear to me. But everything else, it's not obvious to me that there is progression. I have to be able to see a very clear form of progression.
I feel like I kind of operate somewhat similarly, where I feel like, and that's another thing, I feel like I know, like, again, I know what I want, I guess I have an idea of what I want to do and what I want to become, but I feel like, what's the word, like, you know what I mean, I feel like I like always just forget why I'm doing it, you know what I mean, like, why am I going through all this trouble? You know what I mean? Because it's not an obvious payoff. It's like just, you know.
Mm-hmm. That's why I try to spend more time doing things that I can understand, because sometimes I don't understand people. Which is quite ironic because I've been studying psychology for about half a decade. But the point is that I need some stability. That's what it is. I need stability. I need to see improvement in what's around me. And it needs to be improvement that's very obvious. Where it's like, okay, this is clearly going in the right direction.
That's why I hate
clearly
school so
going
much.
in the right direction.
That's why I hate school so much, because I feel like, okay, what do grades give me? Nothing. Like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's nothing, you know what I mean? It's not, I don't see my life improving when I get better grades. It's like, I'm still...
And that's why once I get my bachelor's this next semester, I'm gone. I'm burnt out. I can't do it anymore. I need to work. I need to work. I can't do the school thing anymore because it's just burning me out.
I know, and that's why I hate the way the world works, is because it's like, it's not based on a linear progression. It's not based off of...
No, it's not.
You
It's
do work,
not.
you get skills, you improve those skills. You know what I mean? It's based on how much time you waste on, like, listening to other people talk.
Yeah.
And it pisses me off. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a tricky thing. It's a tricky thing.
You know what? I always wondered, like, I always like thought about, like, you know, let's see. Like, I always wondered, like, has the world always been like this, where it's always about, like, how much time you waste, learning about biology just so you can get like a lawyer, like just so you can get like a degree in law, or has the like paradigm shifted from how like what are your practical skills to how much time you waste in school?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Because Common Core doesn't... They just want everyone to know the same meager things with Common Core. It isn't specialty. It isn't specialty. When I picked my specialty, which is psychology, I just picked it because I saw utility in it and because it was what I was familiar with. It's not something I'm particularly passionate about. That's part of the reason why I'm so lost, is because all I've really got that's clearly progression is my degree, and I'm not particularly passionate about it. I just see it as something that's necessary.
Well, I mean, at least you've wasted time on doing stuff, so now that you can actually start trying to do, you know, actual work.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how useful a psychology degree is. I feel like that's one of those things that like people like don't give a shit about, is like psychology. I mean, I'm probably just making you feel worse than that, but like, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, no, at least you have a degree that you said, this is what I've wasted my time doing. So now I'm here to actually learn how to do stuff.
Well, okay. The way the real-time experience of being in the lecture setting feels isn't the same. That isn't necessarily correlated with how necessary it is that you attain those credentials. And I will admit, I have learned certain things along the way when I wrote certain papers and when I attended certain lectures. So I wouldn't say it's wasting time. I would say that I've had to make a lot of sacrifices for it, and I'm a little burnt out. I feel like I had to stall my development as a person in order to develop as a student.
That's kind of how I feel like in like a lot in high school. The one time where I felt like I was developing as a person was when I, you know, switched like to a different school. Not because like not because of like I moved, which is normally why I switched schools, but because it was like a school that taught specialty trades.
Yeah.
And the thing I chose was digital media, so video editing, graphic design, photography, stuff like that. And I found that like not only like do I like this process of editing videos and making a video and seeing it come to life, but I also found that I actually find photography to be quite relaxing.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, it's not a skill that I would probably use like as a, you know, as a professional. I mean, maybe like it would help me in terms of like filmmaking.
Yeah.
But like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like something I would do by myself, but I find it just relaxing of like, here's a thing, I'm gonna take a picture with it with the camera.
Yeah.
And then like, and then using Adobe Photoshop, like in general, I find it to be kind of relaxing. That's why I have so many different like versions of my Spartan Cast thumbnail and my profile picture where it's like different colors and stuff like that, because I just find the like the use of Photoshop to be relaxing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the thing with me, is that I don't, that's one thing, is that the hurdles that have to be jumped to accomplish tasks, I don't particularly enjoy. So, like I've told you how I'm very familiar with software like Audacity, I don't particularly enjoy it. I just want the end product. I find satisfaction in the end product. I don't particularly enjoy creating it. I just get satisfaction in the end.
Maybe you're using the wrong programs, because I feel like, I don't know.
No,
maybe
they're
it's just
very
because
useful.
I have
The utility can't be denied. I'm very easily able to work with them.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, I'm saying it. I think it's the software, because, like, while it might be useful, I think like it might just be like the fact that the software itself is not very engaging.
No, it's
'Cause I
not.
feel
It's
like-
not that. It does its job well, and I would give it a high review. It's just that it's anything. It's not even software. It's like when I have to physically do something in real life, I don't find particular joy in the activity. I just find satisfaction in having completed it and accomplished it. Now that may change. Hopefully it'll change. I just notice I have a tendency to value the conclusion far more than the means. I need the ends to justify the means. That's just kind of how I am.
For me, I feel like when I am not enjoying like the journey and I just like trying to get to the destination, I feel like that's a sign for me that like that what I'm doing is a waste of time. Because if I'm doing it just to get it over with, well then what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I find myself like doing photography or video editing, I'm like, I have an idea, and I know what that idea is looking like. It's gonna look like. So here I am.
You know, that's how it
trying to
should be.
figure out
That's how it's supposed to be.
best way to build that. And
I'm not
like,
saying
you
it's
know,
good to be the way I am. It's just the way I am. That's all there
I
is
know.
to
I'm
it.
trying to tell you that like that's not a like what you're feeling might just be an indicator that you're doing the wrong thing. That you need to be doing something else. You know.
I understand that, but that's probably what I would say if I was on the other side of the table. But here's the thing: is it's everything. It's with everything. But I'll have partial incarnations of thrill when I play certain games, when I'm with certain people, when I'm having articulate discussions. So I'll sometimes get some relief along the way, so don't get me wrong. But for the most part, there's a lack of engagement and thrill. But when I get that satisfaction in the end, it's like, okay, now if I can get that satisfaction in these different compartmentalized areas of my life, that would be acceptable. So I'm just kind of going off the belief that those who sow in misery will reap in satisfaction and joy. And that's just kind of what I'm doing right now. You also have to take into consideration my age. I'm very young. So I've got plenty of time to get my shit together. No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying, like, these are thoughts that middle-aged people have, so we're ahead of the game. What I'm saying is that I've got plenty of time to figure myself out, is what I'm saying. So it could be frustrating. It could be disheartening. But I have the time, the resources, and the energy to continue figuring it out.
So yeah, but no, I'll tell you a story, like, and I feel like just like, I don't know, I feel like, you know, like, I feel like when I'm like, I feel like it's just that you're not engaged in whatever you're doing. If the end result is the only thing you're interested in, because I feel like whenever I try computer coding, and this is why I knew that doing web design was going to be a terrible idea, because there's a lot of computer coding. It's not like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like whenever I do computer coding, I'm always copying what I'm supposed to be doing from a book or from a video tutorial. Like, it doesn't feel like it's my own thing. And then I'm like, the only time I get satisfaction is, oh, when it works without any bugs or glitches or anything like that, you know? Like, when it works the way it's supposed to, it's like, hey, I did it. And I'm like, I don't know, I feel like I'm just, like, copying. There's nothing original. It's not, like, you know... Like, it's not using my own creativity, like, using a set of tools to create a certain output. It's, do this, like, do A, and then you will get B as a result, you know? and I don't find that to be interesting. I feel like that's also why I hate school. Another reason why I hate school so much is because it is very much do A, therefore B. It's not like, here is a problem, I want you to solve it in like the best way possible. You know what I mean?
Well, okay.
Like,
Here's my response. My response to what you're saying is this. There's a lot of stuff I haven't gotten done yet. Oops. I kicked something by accident. There's a lot of stuff I haven't gotten done yet. There's a lot of shit I haven't figured out. So I've yet to, assuming that it exists, I've yet to come across that particular activity that brings me the sustenance you're speaking of. But if it exists, I'm confident that I will find it. Because I've got plenty of time to figure myself out. I've got a lot up ahead for next year. I'm going to be graduating, I'm going to be getting a job, I'm going to be taking some tests that are involving in my career and occupation. I'm not going to be living in this state in the distant future. In the near future, I will. I'm going to be moving out of this house soon so I can have my own place. That'll be sometime next year, possibly the year after. I've got other things I'm considering that I'm not going to get into, but my point is that there's a lot going on. So I'm sure that things will make a little bit more sense as time goes on. So that's my response.
Yeah, so my thing is that, because, let's see. Yeah, I don't think I want to live in my current state either.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like one of the things is that I want to, like, personally own my own guns.
Yeah, that's very funny that you brought that up, because that's one of the things I'm looking into right now.
I know, and I just like, I mean, so the state I live in is like more of a swing state. So we like, it's more lenient. Like I think like there are more, it has less restrictions than like say California or Massachusetts. But yeah, no. Anyway, I just want to make sure that like this is like, yeah, I want to make it clear that this is my right to own my own guns. You can't take it away from me. You know what I mean? So I really want to make sure I live in a red state when it comes to firearms ownership. The other thing is, like, funny enough, is that, like, I don't actually know how to drive. I know, it's funny, a Spartan not knowing how to drive. Anyway, I was like, it's ridiculous, like, because I'm trying to learn how to drive. And, like, because the thing is, like, the state I live in, like, you have a year to before you can take your test, and if you like before you can like get your license, and if you don't get your license within that year, you have to get a new learner's permit. And I'm like trying to get it done quickly. Meanwhile, my mom is like, let's get you your own Warthog so that you can learn how to drive. I'm like, Mom, why can't I just use the family Scorpion? Like, like to learn how to drive, you know? It's ridiculous.
I'm getting my driver's test is on the 29th. Of next month, January. So I've been taking lessons for that. I went to visit a friend in Cali, and he let me do some freestyling with his car. I almost killed us both by a mountain, but it was fun, so it's okay. Made me a lot more comfortable with vehicles, especially since it was different from the one my instructor was using, so it wasn't just the same car. So I'm a little bit more comfortable driving.
But yeah, no, my mom actually did find a car, or a vehicle, and it's kind of dinged up, and it has like a bunch of weird bumper stickers on the back.
Yeah.
Like they're like ones that are like religious, and then there's like also like some like very like science nerdy jokes on it, and I'm like, normally I would hate these, but they're so funny, like they're so bad that they're so funny, like because they're bad that I think I'm like, I don't care. I think like I'll just live with them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. It was, but yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's sad? Like, I've only had like one physical girlfriend. My other two
Oh my
girlfriends
God.
have been like online only girlfriends.
That's a lot of dudes.
What?
That's a lot of guys.
No, having only 3 girlfriends?
Yeah, your age.
I don't
How
know,
old are
but I guess I'm 19.
you? 19. Yeah, by that point, I know I've only had like 2 girlfriends, and one of them wasn't even really
Okay, well-
official. I'm just not that worried.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically I would only say like I've only known the really one because my other 2 have been online only, where I've only known them through a computer screen.
Mhm.
But I don't like that because I can't like I can't like physically
That's
like,
not healthy.
touch her. You know, I need to be like have the physical relationship. You know,
No, that's that.
And that's another thing,
There's a
like,
deep
I actually
psychological
think-
impact in getting dressed, getting ready, going out. The deep psychological impact. It's very important.
not
you
even
do
that. Like I meant like you know what I mean. Like so, my only real girlfriend that I've had like in the real world, she was very like, I guess I don't know. She was weird because she had both like the like picture like the worst stereotypes of both like the right and the left. You know, I mean, like she was like so she was like very Christian, very like conservative in that way. But she's also very like liberal in the sense of like, oh, like she wanted to do like she had this like you know what I mean. She really wanted to be like this independent woman of like being this like feminist woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, that's annoying.
And so it's this really bad, and that's kind of why I like grown to despise both like the hardcore Christian conservatives and like the like feminists. Like oh, like you know what I mean? Like that's kind of why I like hate both of them. Like it's because of like like both of them don't seem like genuine like people. Like they seem like they're trying to live up to this like you know what I mean? They're trying to live up to a stupid ideal that like doesn't seem natural.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's another thing, like, you know, with the like with her being like Christian, her being like a feminist, like you can't really you're not allowed to do much. You know what I mean? In terms of like, you know, like actual like contact. Like I was not even allowed to kiss her on the lips. That's how bad it was.
Jesus.
I know. I also like would like the other one is like maybe a little bit more like understandable, but it bothers me because you know I have a dirty mind. Is I was not like I would get in trouble whenever I like touched her boobs, even on accident. Like she'd get mad at me, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was an accident. I'm sorry.
No, she's a little uptight. A little uptight there.
I know, but like I feel like if you're like that, like you know what I mean. I feel like you know what I mean. There's not like it feels like there's a disconnect, you know.
Certainly.
Like where like if you're not like if there's like so many rules and restrictions on what I can and cannot do. Like I understand there should be some restrictions, like anything that's gonna result in a child is probably not a good idea, or anything that's like gonna like you know what I mean. Like you know, like actual like sex is like that should be like something that you wait for marriage to do, but something like I don't know, like just like
that's not something that
touching
I
her boob.
particularly believe, but that's alright.
Oh,
Like deeply religious
you
people.
know what I mean?
Okay. Because I just think that stuff
I
like
don't
that
know.
is asking for a disaster. Part of knowing whether someone is right for you, especially for something as permanent as marriage, or at least that has as many repercussions as that, is knowing that you're sexually compatible. Otherwise,
There's also a lot of repercussions for having sex at the wrong time.
yeah.
That's what I'm more afraid of, is having sex with the wrong woman and now I have a child that I have to pay for. Or even worse, she
Well,
gets an
that's why
abortion.
you-
I feel like it's my fault that that child died.
Well, that's why you have protected sex. You gotta be responsible about it.
Use a condom, otherwise it backfires.
What? You
Yeah,
just
exactly.
came out of nowhere?
Yeah, you pop back in. You pop back in.
I popped back in,
Uh,
apparently.
I didn't hear you pop back in. I didn't hear the noise.
I did.
Well,
Oh.
well, I had a friend of mine that actually got his girlfriend pregnant, and he is not in a really good, healthy, and wealthy situation to afford a child.
Mhm.
And even then, that was even not the worst case. The child was born dead on arrival because he had, because the woman that he is having a relationship with is actually really overweight. So yeah,
I see.
it was a malfunction. So
Mm.
And I know, I like that's another thing that pisses me off about like the body positivity shit. Like, no, like being overweight is not healthy.
not for a
Like,
child.
There's a reason why like traditionally attractive women are considered attractive is because they are healthy and because it's going to like result in the you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's another thing. Like the left is like super protective over like disabled people, but there would be less disabled people if more people took care of themselves and more people were healthy. But you don't want
Yeah.
them to take care of themselves and be healthy. You want people to be like disgusting, overweight, like sacks of meat. And
Yeah.
as a result, like, people are going to be unhealthy. Like their children are going to be unhealthy.
Yeah, it is. It's they believe in doctrines that can be very dangerous.
Oh, in that way. Doctorates. Ah, okay. I was wondering what the word was. Doctorates. Yeah, I get now. The main problem is actually when you are overweighted, you have more risks to, you know, dying. You have more risks to, you know, child giving birth that it will be malfunctioned or mutated. Therefore, you know, it's not really a helpful. It's not a really good situation to do so. So yeah. I never had sex before, and I will not do it until, you know, I am sure that the person that it is the one, but you know, protective
I know,
sex
that's why I say
do
wait
work.
till marriage. You know, I get that Yagen Yokai Zero would disagree, and I think that, like, I appreciate that kind of wisdom. Because I'll take that into account now, you know?
But
'Cause I feel
protective
like
sex could work, I guess. But
I don't know.
non-protective sex without, you know, a relationship goal is not a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's like the worst situation. The worst thing was actually he had sex with a woman, even though he only knew her for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I guess, because he had an other relationship where, you know, the woman actually bankrupted him. So yeah, it was
I've
really-
given a girl a good time after the first date. You can. You just gotta be responsible about it. Don't do anything stupid. That's all.
He's not really
Yes,
good with
sir.
finances as well. So.
Yeah.
All right,
that'll do
so,
it.
but yeah, no, like... Anyway, what was I talking about?
You're talking about radical
Fuck,
leftists and body positivity and why it's a problem.
Yes. I know. I was like talking about like, and that's I know, and I feel like that's like that's why a lot of these women are also like pro-abortion is because like they're like unhealthy both physically and mentally. So like they just like you know what I mean? They don't have the responsibility to take care of a child. So their solution is to kill it essentially.
Well, it's the logical extreme that would be a consequence of pursuing freedoms over responsibilities. They want to abolish they want to They want to abolish as many responsibilities as possible so that they can have the maximum amount of freedom. And the logical extreme of that is wanting to disown a child that is being born inside of you. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, you got to hold her down and force her to have it. I ain't saying that, because I feel like that's a little nuts too. I'm saying from a realistic and practical perspective, no, you're not going to do that. But it's a little disturbing how the way they propagandize it.
And how they,
that's like a last resort. It's like a last resort. I think it's a consequence. This
even
abortion
then,
thing.
I feel like it's like
I think the abortion thing is a
mother's life
consequence. The abortion thing is a consequence of people not being responsible in their sexual activities at very young ages.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like the biggest part of it, though, is I feel like it's straight up eugenics. Like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like it's like, I feel like the abortion thing is like some kind of form of eugenics, where it's like, okay, like, we're just gonna kill, like, anybody who's like going to get abortion is like, you know, I don't know, it just seems kind of like, you know what I mean, you're killing your own children, thus like ending your lineage, like your bloodline.
Well, you could always have another child. Here's the thing. Here's two ways of looking at it. I'm going to give you a specific example, right? And this will turn your wheels a little bit, all right? So, imagine that there's a couple, right? And this is something that's very common. So a young couple, right? Like late 20s. They're having sex.
So older than me,
they're married. Like, I'm saying, like a married couple, late 20s.
Okay.
And they have a child. Unexpectedly, they find out the wife is pregnant. So she's like, okay, am I ready for a baby? They come to the solution that they're not ready to financially support a baby. So now there's two ways of looking at this. Let's say that if they were to go ahead and have the abortion because they're trying to not have a baby until they're prepared to, you could say on one hand, that's a responsible decision because they want to make sure they could properly take care of the child when they have one. On the other hand, you could say, so just because it's financially inconvenient, they're going to prevent the life of a child. You see, so there's two ways of looking at it, and I think that both are equally valid. In the end, all you can objectively say is that the abortion was had and that there were reasons why it was had.
I don't know. I feel like, but that's like, I feel like there's a better solution. You know what I mean?
It's a necessary
put up
evil.
Your child for adoption.
It's a necessary evil. Well, here's the thing. It's a necessary evil. Advancement in technology can sometimes create necessary evils, and that's what abortion is. It's like a last-minute contingency, but the problem with it is that with the availability of this necessary evil, people are more willing to use it because it's abundant. So
But
because of that level of abundance, people are using it less. They aren't exactly using it as it should be used. It's happening more abundantly than it should be,
So
because that's a last resort.
So
And I feel like
technically
so.
are not
I
rightfully
feel like
using
divorce is a
ways.
similar thing. You know.
So they're not actually.
I feel like
they're
divorce-
actually.
Oh.
Oh yeah, sorry. But
You
so
wanna
they're
go first?
actually. Yeah. Fuck's sake. Damn it. It's hard. I just wanted to say, like, they're actually wrongfully using the tool that has been created by science, and therefore, you know, they are actually trying to abuse. Is it more like an abusing of the tool that is given to them?
It's gotten to the point that there exist feminist organizations that want to shut down experiments where scientists examine experimental research as to whether the fetus feels pain and when that happens. There's been, so we actually, it's reasonable to say that we've had the technology to figure out pretty pretty accurately when the fetus will be able to experience pain. But feminist organizations have rushed to shut those experiments down.
Why?
Now that tells me it's because even they themselves are admitting that they're scared the fetus might feel pain, but they're not willing to give up having that freedom. So they want to
Yes.
shut down research just in case they're wrong. They're like, no, it doesn't feel pain. And they're like, well, let's find out. They're like, nope, it's oppressive for you to want to find out. Like, just
That
in
is
case.
silly.
I mean,
Now,
I
here's the
would-
thing. Now, here's what I have to say about it. So, not only is that clearly, faulty reasoning, but I don't think that just because it doesn't feel pain makes it okay to kill it. Now, here's another thing to take into perspective. Let's say that a couple, the same scenario as earlier, they decide not to have the child, they have the abortion, and then a couple years later they have another child. Now they're ready to have it. So now, instead of having a child that they weren't prepared for, they ended that life that they weren't prepared for, and then they started another life that they were prepared for. So if they didn't have that abortion, the second child would have never been born. So now we're getting into cause and effect through time.
that hurts my head.
Yeah. But you see
But-
what I'm saying? Is
I
that's
don't
why
know.
it
I
isn't
feel like-
it isn't so objectively obvious, like, oh, this is right and this is wrong. It's like, well, no. We just look at the behavior and we examine it and judge it as we see fit, and we do the best we can.
I don't know. I feel like so. My thing is though, I feel like everybody has like, I very much believe in like a lot of like what's called like classical liberalism. So like think a lot like John Locke, like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. Like I have like this like feeling of this belief that like everybody has these certain rights that are, belong to you. And so when I read it in like say the Declaration of Independence saying that all men, like, and I guess all women, like have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, I feel like if there's like, I feel like, it's not in the Constitution, but the Declaration of Independence is the founding document of which our Constitution is based on. So it feels unconstitutional to have an abortion unless the mother's life is in danger.
Well, that's
Wait,
why.
but you
Well,
s- you s-
that's why what they want to do is they want. You always hear this all the time and read it all the time. A lot of leaders of feminist organizations will consistently say a fetus does not count as a person that has human rights. A fetus does not have human rights. They say that
And
all
I know,
the time.
and I think that's wrong. I think they do have rights because I think they have a complete human genome. Like a sperm cell and an egg cell is like half of a complete human genome. Like so, but once it like kind of becomes like they combine and they form a unique genetic code that's unique to an individual, I think that's when it becomes a person.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Can I
they get
just-
rights.
Can I say?
I also wanted to say one more thing. Just like I've been wanting to say this for a while, but also we were talking about how like abortion is overused. I also think divorce is kind of overused now. I think that also should be a last minute resort, and that should go back to being taboo, because like I feel like so many of these divorces could have been solved had like people had stopped being like so selfish, and had, the couples had cared for each other. Like I feel like if a woman is like not satisfied with a man, so she goes sleeping around with other people, I feel like that's partly on the man's fault. And I feel like if a man is dissatisfied with a woman, like because she's not there for him and she's kind of ignoring him, I feel like that's also her fault. You know what I mean?
Takes two to tango.
Exactly. I feel like I've been told this is that a relationship is about putting someone else before yourself, and I feel like that's like why a lot of people get like divorced, is because they're putting themselves first.
Well, one reason for why a divorce might occur is that if you're someone that's very high in agreeableness and you're unhappy in your marriage, part of the reason you're unhappy is because you're so willing to put up with things that you dislike. You keep grinning and bearing it, and eventually resentment forms. And enough years go by, that resentment turns into a divorce. So it's not putting them before you. It's about compromise.
I'm gonna be going now again. I'm gonna be
Okay.
streaming, so
We'll catch you later, man.
yeah. And I wish you all great luck on this conversation because it
Yeah.
does sound interesting. I would love to, hear more, but
You can watch
need
the
to keep my
recording later.
schedule.
It's alright. I'll keep it up.
All right, cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. What were you
But
saying?
yeah, no, I feel like I was saying, like divorce should be taboo again because I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like these, but if these people, like these, like couples, like would actually like compromise, or like be like a little bit like selfless, or be a little bit like be more honest in being more involved in the relationship rather than just ignoring each other. I feel like that wouldn't happen. I feel like these like relationships wouldn't like sour over the years. I feel like if, you know what I mean? And that's like another reason why, like, so many reasons like why I don't want a wife who, has like her job, like a career, and like who's like is just a housewife, is because I feel like it's a nice compromise. I feel like, I work in the day and like to make money, and so that we can have a roof over our heads, and then like after I come back, like she helps take care of me, and I'm like exhausted, making me feel like at home and all comfortable and all that. You know what I mean? Like, it's a dynamic, and it's like you know what I mean? I feel like it's just a really well designed. No, I mean, it wasn't designed, obviously. It's a thing that we naturally evolve, but it just seems so well equipped to deal with a lot of the issues that come with like relationships nowadays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm just like, and that's another reason why I hate feminism, is because they demonize this. They make it look like it's oppressive just because like the man, I guess, is the dominant, and like the woman is like submissive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ignoring that's just like how people, like humans act, and like that's just how we are. Like, they just like,
They want to artificially modify human behavior by insisting that that behavior is the result of a socialized construct. And by
even
insisting
if it was a
so,
social
that justifies creating new social constructs that modify behaviors in a way that they see
I
fit.
know. By that logic, you can say, oh, the Constitution is a socialized construct because it was created. But like, I don't even believe that the U.S. like Constitution and classical liberalism is entirely as a social construct. Yes, like, are the words that we use to describe the Constitution, are they you know what I mean? Are they a social construct? Like, yes, the Constitution itself is a construct of like, men who came together and came up with these ideas and wrote them down on paper. Yes, that is true. But I think what they like the truth about like classical liberalism and about like the US and like all of the freedoms that we have, I feel like the thing that these these philosophers, like, what they realize is that these aren't just ideas that we have that would like, that these are like things that you like should be in nature. Like, you know what I mean? That in the line in the Declaration of Independence, it says we hold these truths to be self-evident. Like, it's not just saying this is just our thing that we're just making a better social construct. This is what we believe to be natural and what we believe to be the correct way for humans to live.
Yeah.
And look what it's brought. It has brought like the best, like, it has created the greatest country in the world. And ignoring how like this America has been kind of declining in the 20th century, and now even more in the 21st century, like because of these like rules, like these laws, and like these politicians who come in and go against these ideas of the Constitution, who kind of like come on these more left-leaning, like who are more inspired by things like Marxism, which is not based around like we know these truths to be self-evident. It's based around a collective society building this kind of constructed, like it's about constructing a society like by using with the force of the collective. It's not about you know, it's not about what is natural, what is good, what is the right way to live. It is what does it mean to, like, you know what I mean, to have like, it's about what we think is best, what's like what we can come up with like structurally, you know what I mean? You know, it has nothing to do with what actual, I don't know, you know what I mean?
I see what you're saying.
It's not about observations in nature and applying those observations in nature to make a better society. It's about seeing a problem and making an artificial solution to that problem. And I feel like that's why America is in decline, and I feel like that's why our
It's not really
freedoms are
seeing a
being
problem. They artificially construct problems by insisting that someone is being oppressed, and then by saying that falsely, that justifies giving that type of person, like female or minority, more power in society.
You know,
they don't want to fix
I'm glad you
problems.
pointed
They
that
want to
out.
make certain subpopulations have more power.
You know, I'm glad you pointed it out, because that is basically what Marxism is. It's not about like, oh, the problem is like of like the working class like being poor. Like that could be a problem, but it's not viewing it as, oh, the working class are poor and that like they're dying. That's not what Marx is. Like Marx is saying, oh no, the working class should have power and should seize the means of production. It's about shifting the balance of power from like the middle class, like from having like, you know, being wealthy and from their hard work and all of this stuff, to saying, okay, these people who are failures basically should have power. That's why I feel like every Marxist inspired like every Marxist regime has ended in like massive body counts and massive like destruction and like massive like just collapse economically and societally. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you take the Soviet Union for example, where you have the gulags and you have like the secret police and you have like just this society that does not respect your rights as an individual. But oh, at least you like have everything that everybody else has.
Yeah.
That you like, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's just not a good system. Like especially I think it's terrible because it prevents people from becoming the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
And sure, some people might not have a super high potential of becoming the best version of themselves, and if that's okay, like, you know, because there will be other people who have like this amazing potential to become the best version of themselves, and they will become, like, you know, and they will take their like talents and skills and abilities to become this a bit best person, and like they'll be so good that they can even help out the people who might not have had the best potential in the first place, you know.
Yeah.
By like solving these problems, like I think especially like with capitalism, you have like this idea. Like I know they like to bring up, oh, you shouldn't profit off of this. No, it's because you profit off of it. In fact, like the best way to profit off of something is to make it cheaper, so that you can sell it for like less and make it more affordable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that you can make it in bulk. So if it's cheaper for you to produce, then it is cheaper for like you can have a greater abundance of your product, and you could sell it for a cheaper price and get it in the hands of
That's
most
called
people.
free enterprise.
Exactly. It's
practical.
some things like you know, some things like, obviously they're not going to be in abundance because they're very high quality and they put a lot of work and like into that, and that's also okay. You know what I mean? Like both
Yeah.
the high quality stuff and the cheap stuff can can coexist.
Well, well, yeah, like just look at lithium-ion batteries, and those are shipped internationally. That affects the stock
Yeah.
trade. That's just one thing that has a boatload of consequences. But as we see, you know, that's progression.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like, so I had a debate with somebody once where like they're talking about monopolies and how they completely control the railroad industry. And I pointed out, well, what happened after, you know what I mean? That was in the late 1800s. What happened in the early 1900s was the invention of cars, where you no longer have to rely on a train. Now as a car is something that you buy and that you own, and that you can drive basically wherever you want. You don't need to rely on the train tracks, or you don't need to rely on like this and that. And what happened as a result of like cars being invented? Well, the train industry, the American, like you don't really see like trains that much in America anymore because of cars, because of personal transportation.
Yeah.
Because it killed that market, basically. I mean, trains still exist in America, but not as near as abundant as like they used to, and not as near as abundant in places like Europe that don't have as free of an economy as the United States does.
And that's what's disturbing about what they want to do with energy now. They want to switch over to different energy sources, which is going to be terrible for middle-class people that work in those types of industries. They're going to lose their jobs. Because you're going from someone that's trained to work with one form of energy and you're changing it to another form of energy. Now, was there going to be some kind of program, some kind of strange, far-fetched, idiosyncratic program so that you could swap from that specific job to this specific job? No, they're going to fire you. That's what they're going to do. They're going to fire you.
Yeah.
Because they're running a business.
Yeah,
So,
and that's another thing. Is like
That's
those
what's
sources, those
disturbing
green
about
energy
wanting to do that.
aren't efficient. Like you think, like take for example, like solar power. Like you know how much how many solar panels you would need to power to power the United States. You probably need to cover but I think the surface area that would require is do more harm to the environment than it would be worth. It's I feel like these people don't think about the consequences of switching over to these energy you know what I mean?
Well, they seem to deny those consequences. They seem to deny those consequences. Like when you watch Newsmax and Fox News or whatever, you'll see them saying hold on, people that work in this industry, and this industry are going to lose their jobs. People that have this job title will not have a job by this particular year. And they're showing you this information that's very likely information. And then CNN and MSNBC respond by saying, "Oh no, it's it's bigotry for saying that." It's like, what? No, what you should be saying is, we want to switch over to renewable energy. In order to do that, we're going to have to make certain sacrifices. Don't lie about it. That's what they're doing. They're lying. They lie about the sacrifices that will need to be made for those industries.
And yeah, and think about
instead of saying instead of saying, "Oh yeah, we need to think about the future. We need to protect the environment, so we're going to have to cause some people to lose their jobs." Be honest. But no, they don't do that. They pretend people won't lose their jobs. So they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to have it both ways.
They also do that with the healthcare industry, but I'll talk about that in a bit. But back to the example of cars, it's same thing, saying people say, imagine if the car industry was lying about the railway. Obviously, the railroad industry declining is also going to result in a lot of loss in jobs, in the railroad industry. You know what I mean? If car companies said the cars can still coexist with you're just like concerned that like, you know what I mean? You're just concerned that, oh, cars are gonna like, you know, make railroads obsolete. You know what I mean? Like, you're just concerned. You know what I mean? You just don't want to lose your money. Like, you don't want to lose. You know what I mean? Same thing, but also in the same thing with the health industry, where like with like Obamacare, it's like, yeah, no, you can have your doctor, your private, like your personal doctor, even though the whole point of Obamacare is to have everybody have this socialized medicine, and to put a lot of like these private doctors and these private like hospitals out of business.
Yeah.
It's just
they
like,
lie about
okay.
the consequences of their promises. So people that don't look into it, you know, like general populace that don't know, that don't have that information, they're gonna say, "Oh, of course I want that because it sounds like a good thing." They're just manipulating people.
And I feel like that's the thing, though. Like, I gave the example of cars, like, but that's the thing. Like, that happened naturally. That, like, people like, I mean, it benefits the.
Well, because they weren't out to. They weren't. Their goal wasn't to attack the railroad industry. Their goal was to introduce a new industry.
Was to make a new product that ended up making another industry obsolete.
Yeah.
Like this, like these, like cheaper alternatives to medicine, and like I guess this green energy, if it was a viable product, then it could be it could exist in the free market, but it doesn't exist in the free market because it's not viable. Like green energy just isn't as good as, you know, gasoline and fossil fuels.
It can't be as efficiently reproduced.
And yeah, that's another thing. Like, yeah, it's not as efficient.
It can't even be efficiently. It can't even be as efficiently utilized yet. And it's like, if you want to get there, you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff that's gonna hurt people, and you're gonna have to own up to that. But they don't do that. They lie to people. They lie to the public by saying they're not gonna make those sacrifices, but they do. They say they're not gonna make those sacrifices, but they do.
Yeah, and again, with also healthcare stuff, like, you know, it's like, actually no, back to the green energy stuff. Like, if somebody wanted to run a like green industry business, they could. But the thing is that it's not, because it's not as efficient, and because of all the massive resources it would take to actually like make that viable, it's just not worth it in a business perspective. So nobody does it. You know?
Yeah.
Like. And they're trying to, that's the thing though, they're trying to force it upon people.
Yeah.
And just like how, like, with cars, like, we got more efficient with transportation, like, we'll get more efficient with, like, fossil fuel to the point where in fact, we might actually have a solution. Nuclear power might be the better alternative to fossil fuels, where rather than having, like, all these, like, burning all these fossil fuels, we just have these very specific plants that burn, like, nuclear power in this, like, kind of, like, contained, very safe way. I mean, obviously, if done poorly, it could end in disaster like Chernobyl, but overall, like, it's probably safer to do than, because you think about how common, like, oil spills are, and how damaging to the environment that is. Like,
yeah.
And how many accidents could be prevented if we were using nuclear power.
Yeah.
Again, if, like, I'm not saying, like, it's 100% foolproof. It's not. But it's safer overall than fossil fuels. And that's the thing to look into. But we're wasting our time on this green energy, which is not efficient and does more damage to the environment than it should, than it's worth. You know, like, even if you're putting, like, all your solar panels in a desert, that's still an ecosystem that you're destroying by putting, like, solar panels in the middle of the desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is, the loss in jobs is guaranteed, and the introduction of new jobs is not. That's what makes it dangerous. So someone like myself, who thinks that there's nothing more important than the economy, obviously I'm not going to be good for that. But there are some people that do, because they think that the environment is more important than the economy, and that if there's even a chance that something will improve the environment, they're willing to sacrifice the economy. I don't think that's a sustainable solution, but that's me. And it can be difficult to
Another-
tolerate. It can be difficult to tolerate people that are the other way, but I try to. I try to.
I know, I try to like not live in my own like echo chamber. I don't do this as much anymore. I used to like, you know, try and find like Discord servers that had like more left-leaning people on it, and I would try to like challenge them on their ideas. The problem though was like, I felt like, you know what I mean? Because like, when they asked me like, oh, what books do I read, or what like, who have I studied? I'm like, you know what I mean? And then like when you're trying to like find research and stuff, like you're like, you know what I mean?
You want to be
don't
able
know
to back
how I
up
know
your
the-
point.
Yeah, I
You
know.
want to be
but
able to
I,
back
like,
up your
can't.
point with very specific empirical sources. That can be difficult to do. That's why people like Jordan Peterson are very useful, because they can do that. They can do that.
Yeah, I know. Like you know,
Sometimes I like to
because we're-
steal. Sometimes I like to steal Jordan Peterson's sources when I make a point. Because he'll cite a source when he says something. I'm like, oh, a source for that. Okay, great. Because that's something I argue all the time. Now I have a source.
Yeah.
And usually the other person won't, because they're just a normal guy. Because who the fuck does that? I do it,
another thing,
motherfucker. I do it.
That's another thing though, is like a lot of these people will have like these really obviously fake sources. Like either it's like obvious like Marxist theory, or like the science, like for example with gender identity. I'm like, no, gender identity does not validate, like it does not invalidate biological sex. My argument is that biological sex is your quote unquote gender. And they're like, oh no, because we have like,
Well, they
this-
have a fixation with very specific words. Like the word gender makes them act really weird. You just want to stay away from that word. They have like an obsession with certain words, and then they like to categorize other words with that word. They have an odd obsession with that. And it's like, whatever, label it what you want. There are certain biological factors to take into consideration in people, and then just leave it at that. Like, but
My
they have
biggest
like an
thing
obsession
was-
with the word gender. The word gender is just a useful word to refer to someone's sex or sexuality. That's it. It's just a useful go-to word, but they've distorted it to mean a whole bunch of other things that are associated with political propaganda, as well as other things. So it's just a word to stay away from nowadays. I try to actually not use the word gender, I'll use the word sex now. Because I just think it's more practical. I try
know,
not to
but,
worry
like,
too much about it. It's just like, just use practical wording and don't worry about it. That's not my problem.
I know, but the whole point of the debate was like we were actually debating like is biological sex versus gender identity, you know? And
Yeah.
like my point though is that they bring up these sources of like they're like published by scientific like publishing, but they don't read like scientific studies. They read like activism and you know what I mean?
They just read Google articles. I get you.
Yeah, no, like even though
They're
like,
not
they
reading
should be credible.
empirical journal articles. No, I
I
know
know,
what you're
and
talking
like
about.
they're not taking into account that like they kind of back the same talking points like, oh, what about hermaphrodites? I'm like, okay, one, like yes, well, hermaphrodites have both genitals, like they also have like both genitalia. They both have like the male and female. Like usually they like their secondary like sex characteristics will resemble one or the other. I
That's
can't
true.
think, like, you know
yeah.
what I mean?
No, yeah, like usually when that occurs, it's clearly a deformity in the genitalia, and you'll be able to tell. It's like, okay, no, this is clearly a boy, or this is clearly a girl.
Yeah, again, with the secondary sex characteristics, like, you know, breasts or lack thereof, like, you know, like, that's the, like, it's still a male or female.
There's also a
Just
reason
with,
why
like,
that doesn't happen a lot. It's because it's a deformity.
Because it's a mutation. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a mutation. That's actually a better word. It's a more practical word.
I know, because a mutation could be like both like good or bad. It's not. It's neither good or bad. It's just a. Like, for example, having red hair. That's also like having red hair and being like, and not being lactose intolerant are both mutations. Like.
Yeah.
But both of those are beneficial. Well, okay, so red hair might not be beneficial, but
It is if you're a chick.
not being lactose intolerant. Okay, yes, that's true. Redheads are pretty hot, but anyway, not being lactose intolerant is a huge survival advantage because you can like drink milk long past like your like infancy from other animals, and you know it can lead to a healthier diet and a healthier lifestyle. That's how that's how evolution works. Is you get these mutations that benefit you that like will like kind of develop over time into becoming like, you know, a defining trait of your particular species.
Yeah.
And like so, and that's the thing, like, you know, a lot of these like mutations that like occur might not be beneficial. It might actually be harmful.
Mm-hmm.
That's how a lot of cancer, like, you know, like a cancer, basically.
Yeah.
And or it might just be like having red hair, where it's just a cosmetic thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It might not really be effective, you know, and that's why it's like use the word mutation instead of deformity, because it is a mutation in the sense of like it's not good, it's not bad, it's neutral. It could be good, it could be bad, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
And it could just be a cosmetic change. Like, it's nothing special. And another thing, like they read about, like, so another. I get back to these articles though. When you read about them, they also kind of like bring up, like, they try to like justify it with like this, like these brain scans. And for me, I just have like, you know, as a normal person, there's no way of, like, you know, like, I feel like yeah, okay, like, so I feel like what they're doing is proving that gender dysphoria is a real illness.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I feel like they're not, like, properly...
Yeah, when you don't identify, when you feel emotionally disenfranchised by your own biology, particularly in terms of sex, that's the definition of gender dysphoria.
Yeah, and it's an illness. It's not a thing that you should celebrate. It's something that should be like fixed. You know what I mean? It's because like what I've observed is that these people who have gender dysphoria do not get better when they like become more like the opposite sex. They
Well, what
arguably
happens?
become worse.
What happens is that supposedly the side effects, the negative consequences of undergoing the change are less prominent than the negative consequences of hormonal therapy to like when you take drugs to deal with the mental health so you don't have the dysphoria anymore. The drugs for gender dysphoria supposedly have more negative effects than following through with the physical transformation. Now that's not, but now people seem to have this, people seem to think that means that undergoing the physical change is a good thing to do. No, it's just less harmful for you than the other thing, and that's assuming that's true. It's like we still don't have a cure for gender dysphoria. We still don't have a cure for that. And of course it's on a case-by-case basis. Maybe someone is in a very particular situation that makes them feel that way temporarily. Everybody's different, but there are correlations. And from those correlations, what has supposedly been gathered is that taking drugs that alter the mind, the chemicals in the brain, to make the person not have dysphoria, have more negative side effects than undergoing the physical transformation. Now, that doesn't justify having your 5-year-old child take hormonal therapy, because neither of those solutions are good for you. It's just that one harms you less than the other.
It's like drinking Coke versus Diet Coke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're still both bad for you.
Yeah, kind of.
One is less bad for you than the other, you know?
Yeah, and we still need more studies into this. And there are some. But I think that there's a lot more propaganda than science, which is a problem.
Yeah. And that's the big conclusion, though, is that, like, a lot of them say, like, oh, therefore, like, your gender pronouns, and, like, they should, like, it goes, like, from having, like, a somewhat scientific, like, view of it to start spouting propaganda, and it's this obvious shift that I just find this to be, I cannot, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is propaganda that I'm reading. It's not an article about science.
Yeah, the question that you have to ask if you're a psychiatrist or a psychologist, more specifically a psychiatrist, because you can make decisions in what I'm about to say. If you have a client that is suffering from gender dysphoria, the question you have to ask yourself and your client is, what decision moving forward would hurt you least? That's what you have to do.
I think it should just, like, you should just wait. Because honestly, I feel like most of the time it's something that you just kind of grow out of.
Yeah, but there could be some 25, 35-year-olds that have this problem. It's not going to really go anywhere for everyone. So when
I know.
That's why they would have therapy. That's why they would have therapy. I mean, like, you know, verbal therapy. And because that would help them. That's what helps the person get through it and hopefully come to the resolution that they don't need either drugs nor do they need and sometimes it could be a side effect of something else, like manic depression, and the media is saying I think a consequence of what the media does is that it could cause people to think that, oh, I'm having gender dysphoria, so I need to I need to change my sex or whatever, or I need to go undergo hormonal therapy. It's like, no, maybe you just have something else like manic depression, but because of the way that your environment has affected you, because of certain things that certain people have said, things like that, because of your individual circumstances, you could be lashing out of the manic depression through symptoms of gender dysphoria. So just because you have symptoms of gender dysphoria doesn't mean you actually have it, which means I think there are a lot of false diagnoses. I think there are.
That's true.
I think there are some false diagnoses.
I feel like a lot of gender dysphoria, I think, is caused by.
Well, because they jump the gun on it. I think that people have a tendency to jump the gun on it, particularly left-leaning people, like radical left-leaning people. I don't think normal left-leaning people do this. They have a tendency to jump the gun a little bit, like, oh my god, he wants to change his sex, that's so exciting. It's like, well, wait a minute, maybe he has a different problem. You need to address the problem. Don't turn it into an event. Address the problem.
A thing that I think is a cause for gender dysphoria, well, one of the causes, maybe not the single cause, but one of the causes is, and I'm actually gonna have to go in a few minutes. I'm actually late for something.
Yeah, me too. I gotta get going too. But I have
anyway, but the one thing I want to say is I think that I think is a cause for gender dysphoria is having, like, being insecure with your masculinity or femininity, and you feel like because you're not the idealized, you feel like you just have to go the opposite, and you feel like that's just better. When in reality is you just need to figure out what the problem is and try and fix that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's funny that you mentioned depression, because it seems that the media does also glorify depression the way it glorifies gender dysphoria.
Yeah.
And what happens as a result? Like, people start committing suicide more. Like,
because they celebrate victimhood.
It's sick. It honestly is. I feel like because they celebrate depression is the ultimate like proof that this ideology is sick at its core. You know.
I think it's dangerous.
Anyway, I guess that's all we have to say. I think, like I said, I better get going.
I'll catch you later, man. I'm gonna go hit the gym.
I'll see you later.
All right. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
All right. Take care, best chat. I know there's not many people here, but that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and call the stream off now. I'm gonna be leaving it up, so anybody that wants to rewind it, it's fine. And yeah, hope you guys have a good day.